relievers, first aid supplies, and more. The Healthy Options allowance is loaded onto a prepaid card each month, and whatever you don't spend carries over from each month. You could pay nothing for covered prescriptions all year long, even name brand drugs. All plans have $0 copays for covered preventive dental services, which include 2 free cleanings a year, as well as fillings. They may also have vision coverage, including vision exams, and a yearly allowance towards eyewear, such as lenses or contacts. Even hearing coverage, which includes routine hearing exams and coverage towards hearing aids. You'll even have a $0 copay for routine vaccines and telehealth visits. Plus, your doctor, hospital, and pharmacy may already be part of our large Humana networks. So call the number on your screen now to speak with a licensed Humana sales agent. Wouldn't you love benefits like $1,200 a year to help pay for eligible groceries, utilities, rent, and over-the-counter items? So if you have Medicare and Medicaid, call the number on your screen now and speak with a licensed Humana sales agent. If you're eligible, they can even help enroll you over the phone in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan. So call now. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Welcome back. President Trump finishing up lunch with the royal family and about to get to the rest of the second historic trip to the UK as it gets underway.
That's right. The Trumps getting quite a grand welcome ceremony this morning. A lot of pomp and circumstance, as we keep saying.
Let's head to Newsmax's Shelby Wilder outside Windsor Castle to give us an update. Hi, Shelby.
Hi, great to be with you both. Yeah, we've been seeing such an incredible display here at Windsor Castle, which is behind me, which is also where the President and First Lady are at the moment, again, enjoying this very special lunch. We should note that for our viewers, Windsor Castle, nearly 1,000 years old, established by William the Conqueror in 1070. Over 40 monarchs have resided inside this castle, and there's been a lot of energy and excitement here. We have the High Street behind us, and we've been hearing cheers, particularly as the choppers were coming in for landing this morning with the President and the First Lady. We've seen many American flags and people wearing mega shirts for Make England Great Again and MAGA hats. But just to go into sort of, again, the rundown we're looking at for the rest of the day here in Windsor, which, again, for viewers, is about 45 minutes west of London in the beautiful countryside and on the Thames. Again, the President and First Lady are inside the castle at the moment, and after lunch in the state dining room with members of the royal family, the Trumps will view a royal collection display related to the United States. In the afternoon, they will visit St. George's Chapel, where President Trump will lay a wreath at Queen Elizabeth II's tomb. We know that the President Trump was very fond of the Queen, again, from his prior and first state visit back in 2019. And just noting that this is a unprecedented state visit, because it's the second, and it's the only that has been given to a U.S. president. Usually when a U.S. president would return to the United Kingdom, he would be having tea with the monarch, but not receiving, again, this very grand welcome that we have been witnessing today. Otherwise, after laying this wreath at Queen Elizabeth II's tomb, there will be a short tour and a choir performance. And then the President and First Lady will join the King and Queen and Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and Lady Starmer, and also US and UK military families for a ceremony on the East Lawn here. And that event will conclude with a flypast from UK and US F-35 jets and the Red Arrows. They were saying that's weather permitted, and while it is windy and cloudy, the rain thankfully has held off thus far, which is a miracle in the United Kingdom. And otherwise, what we're all looking forward to this evening is the state banquet, which will be held in St. George's Hall, which is going to have roughly 160 guests, celebrities, government officials from the Trump administration, from the United Kingdom. So certainly a lot more to look forward to as the day goes on.
Appreciate it. Well, that does it for us on First Edition on Newsmax 2 today.
That's right. Stay tuned to Newsmax's coverage of President Trump's historic.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Salem, Kaiser, and the Willamette Valley. Seen on KSLM 27 and these Dove TV affiliates.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. And Jerry Bilden is here, and I'm here to see if he's going to stick around.
Yeah, well, I'll stick around, but you got to keep me between the lines.
Yeah,
all right.
I am Jerry Bilden's guardrail.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
There you go. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. And it does drop a little bit temperature-wise today. Yesterday was warm. Today will be nice.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of goes down a little bit. This time next week, there could be some showers in the forecast. So we'll keep an eye on that. Good morning to you. A lot going on, always in the news. Have you watched the President and the First Lady and the King and Queen?
You know, I saw a couple pictures, but I haven't seen any video. How's it going over there?
Well, I have to tell you, it's they have described, quote, the royal treatment.
Oh, okay. Really?
Oh, gosh. It is, it's over-the-top opulence and royalty and chariots and big hats and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually, I like all of it. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And but you know, is he the first president to get 2 state welcomes in England?
Oh, that's a good question.
This is his second state visit.
You're right.
And the king has really rolled it out for him.
Yeah.
And it's all inside one of the Windsor Castle there, where they have the big courtyard in the middle, and all of the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now, actually, Donald Trump and Melania Trump are both staying in a luxury apartment in the complex, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. It's the whole thing is amazing. And of course, I don't. Somebody will tell us, but I don't understand. I shouldn't say I don't understand. I don't know where the big hats for women came from in the UK.
I know.
And they're huge.
I know.
And they have these different things. They wear them at angle. Well, you ought to see First Lady Melania's hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know, it looks like she I say this respectfully, but she does belong on the cover of a magazine.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's stunning.
Yes,
It's very.
she is,
So,
yes.
Anyway, we'll have some of that a little bit later on. Good
Hey,
morning.
let me ask you this, though. One thing. Do you think, they're staying in a very opulent setting? Do you think there's enough gold gilded around the furniture for the president?
Now, it's interesting you'd say that. I would imagine there's a fair share of it.
Okay.
Just me personally, don't write me an email. It's a little too much for me in the Oval Office.
Okay.
I think it's a little too much in the Oval. I'd like to see him tone it down.
Well, I'm just wondering if there's enough in the castle.
Well, listen, he loves gold.
I know he does.
He saw the Trump Tower.
Oh, yeah, look at his plane.
Look at his plane.
Yeah, Trump won.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. Guess what today is?
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, and also it's Constitution Day and Citizenship Day, which is a real issue in our country these days.
I forgot about that. September 17. Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, I was on the Bicentennial Commission representing the state of Oregon for the bicentennial of the Constitution, and I got to go to the White House on this day.
Really?
During Reagan's administration.
No kidding.
Yeah, I
This
forgot
is
all
an
about. I
anniversary.
have all this stuff at home.
I wish you'd.
I should have brought it. I didn't even think about it. Gosh, it's
Okay.
wonderful. Yeah.
Well, it is Citizenship Day, and on this day, members of the U.S. Constitutional Convention signed the Constitution in 1787.
Yep.
How about that? All right. National Professional House Cleaners Day. Outstanding. And it's not just house cleaners. It's basically professional cleaners. Where would we be without you? And I have been one.
Really?
Oh, heck yeah. I when I was in college and actually in high school and college, I cleaned my mom's beauty shops, and I also cleaned my doctor's office weekly. I was his janitor. Yeah, I cleaned everything. Oh man, I know what a pumice stone is for.
Okay, so How'd that work for you?
Kidding me? Yeah, I got my fingers wet.
So are you a needy at home?
A needy? What's a needy?
A needy, cleany, needy? Everything's in its place?
No, I am not. I like things.
Is Pam?
Yeah, but we're both kind of in that mode, but not fanatical about it. I just don't like stuff laying around. I'm that way, in RVing too. I like things clean and in their place. I don't like clutter around the place. It just bugs me. Anyway, enough of my own problems.
I see your office and you're lying to me.
Well, yeah, my workspace is different than my living space.
There you go.
I am what do they call that? Messily organized. You ask somebody who's got a lot of stuff on their desk, they know where everything is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, messies know where things are.
Yeah, when I start putting stuff away, I have trouble. Anyway, Monte Cristo Day. Monte Cristo is a sandwich, recognizing the indulgent and delicious sandwich made from ham and cheese. Unlike a grilled ham and cheese, the Monte Cristo is the premier version of a grilled ham and cheese. It's a triple-decker, egg-dipped ham and cheese sandwich that is pan-fried.
Okay, so you can put syrup or jelly on it.
You can sweeten it. Yeah, you put a little bit of jelly on it. There are a number of, different touches that you can do to a Monte Cristo. And I'm sure they are all good. And I'm sure it's not too dissimilar to, again, that good old famous grilled cheese sandwich. Grilled cheese is very,
It's a grilled
very
cheese sandwich with ham.
and dipped in egg, and then the whole thing fried. So it's
a French toast ham chin cheese sandwich.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take two.
Okay.
It's also National Apple Dumpling Day, honoring the sweet delight of autumn. Apple dumplings are an easy dessert to make. Simply peel and core apples, season them with cinnamon and sugar, and wrap them up in a prepared pastry dough. Bake the apple until it's tender, and the flavor is very similar to apple pie. How about that?
Okay.
And speaking of food, we throw a lot of food away.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Not only households, but restaurants, and I think we're stunned sometimes when we realize the amount of food that's being thrown away. So, you think they should make it a law to ban throwing away food? Well, guess what? In France, they already have.
Good.
France is the first country in the world that legislated a food waste law that bans supermarkets from wasting unsold food. It mandates that supermarkets must compost their leftover produce or donate the goods to charity. Supermarkets with a footprint of 400 square meters or more must sign donation contracts with local organizations, and those who fail to comply may face penalties, including fines and imprisonment. This law aims to reduce food waste and provide essential food to those in need. Whoa, I didn't know such a law existed.
Wow.
How about that?
I don't know if you need to go that far, but I do think that we need to take a look at this.
Yeah.
We need to be able to get food that has reached its shelf life, so to speak, into the hands of people that can use it.
You bring up a great point. We need to understand those dates better, the shelf life dates. It's like Best By, March 16th, or if it's then dangerous, or if it's just not quite as good. I don't know. And then you get the dates. Kind of you get it home, and it's like sold by. Yeah, but it's a week after sold by. So when's it good? When can I eat it by? So there's a lot of confusion on some of that, but it's interesting there.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Here's a guy that we'll sell him by. Let's see, 2085.
Oh, don't do it.
There we go.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, sunny skies with daytime highs near 80 for Vancouver and Portland, near 83 in Wilsonville, and 81 for McMinnville, with a calm wind becoming north around 5 miles per hour this afternoon. Great weather continues as we move down the Willamette Valley with sunny skies and daytime highs in the low 80s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light northwest wind. Sunny skies again today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the mid-80s for Prineville and low 80s for Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, sunny with a high near 84 and a low tonight in the mid-50s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny and low 70s in Coos Bay. Sunny with a high near 70 for Port Orford. Mostly sunny and low 60s for Brookings and decreasing clouds in mid-60s in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, sunny and calm for the Rogue Valley with daytime highs in the low 90s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 89 in Ashland. Much the same for the Klamath Basin, sunny and mid-80s. Into Northern California, sunny and low 90s around Wairika. Sunny and hot from Redding with a high near 98 through Chico near 97 and Sacramento near 99, the hot spot on our map. In the Bay Area, sunny with daytime highs near 91 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high near 79 and a light west wind. And today in San Jose, sunny with a high near 91. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
And a beautiful shot of the sunrise this morning off the top of Roxanne looking to the northeast. That is Mount McLaughlin out there. And it's just going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
Well, one of the things that we do here daily is keep an eye on Israel. And this morning we have a message with Dr. Anthony George encouraging us to support Israel.
So that gives me the opportunity to say that all this talk about the church replacing Israel and God is now completely done with Israel once and for all, that is unbiblical, prophecy-denying blather and prattle. It is not a scriptural belief that God is finished finally with Israel. And the same is true of this growing sentiment among these so-called conservative influencers. And I could call a few of them by name, but I won't. That are ridiculing evangelical Christians who are pro-Israel. This is why if you're a Christian, you can't just align with somebody because they say they're a conservative. Just because someone is a conservative doesn't mean, number one, they're conservative in the same way that we are, and they're conservative for the same reasons that we are. I'm not conservative because I want to be conservative. I'm conservative because the values of the Bible determine my values and inform what I believe. That's why I'm conservative. But there are a lot of conservative philosophies out there that are not biblical in their loyalty. We can agree on areas where our values align, but I'm telling you, if someone's beliefs are not firmly tethered to the Bible, that means they might be living in a nice house, but like the parable Jesus told, Matthew 7, it could be a beautifully built house. It's just on a foundation of shifting sand. The house looks good, but if it's not built on the rock, it will not withstand the storms. The house must be built on the rock. Amen. It's got to be built on the rock.
Amen. He's a little worked up this morning.
Well, listen, he's becoming one of my fast favorite guys to listen to.
Yeah.
And I think he's a rising voice in the culture today. You got him, Jack Hibbs, and others that are coming up. But the point being is that he makes a very strong point. I have to tell you this. I am shocked, continually shocked, the amount of Christians who have bought the replacement theology. It's kind of stunning to me. I mean, you talk about cutting and pasting scripture together.
Right.
You have to do that to come up with that conclusion.
Okay, now, there may be some people of faith who don't understand what replacement theology is.
Replacement theology is, he just said it.
You're right.
That God is done with Israel. They have failed him, and God is no longer using Israel, and that the New Testament church, born in the book of Acts, has replaced Israel. Okay. And the problem with that is if you're going to go down that road, take the Old Testament, rip it out, and don't even include it. And so you have a problem there. But he mentions there's some strong voices, and there are. You and I talked about one earlier. No, I think it was Scott and I were talking about one earlier who used to be really a famous conservative voice. He was on Fox. Now he's on by himself. But he's one of these people that says Israel is the problem. And I'm going, okay, I just think you know what it tells me? These are people who have not been properly rooted and grounded in Scripture. They're cut and paste Christians. And the only thing I can say is that you really, in today's world, there's no excuse to be biblically illiterate. There's so many places you can go to get good Bible training. Come here and go to Pacific Bible College. That's why we started the whole school.
Good point. Yeah.
But the point is that this replacement theology is it's just not scriptural. I know Christians that are so angry at the Jews, and I go, oh, you just may want to double check your thinking
And
here.
there is nothing new under the sun,
There
is
you go.
there? Yeah.
All right, 14 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Now, what we're about to share with you here, I realize is a little tough this morning, but this was the big story yesterday, and that is that Charlie Kirk's assassin was finally charged yesterday. He was brought in remotely, video remote, into the courtroom. And here's the Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, that announced the formal charges against the Tyler Robinson, who is the suspect of the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Today, after reviewing the evidence that law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense, for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The state is also charging defendant with count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for moving and concealing the rifle used in the shooting. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for disposing the clothing he wore during the shooting. Count 5, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to delete his incriminating texts. Count 6, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned him. And count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor, for committing homicide knowing that children were present and may have seen or heard the murder and did so based on Charlie Kirk's political expression. Also, following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
All right, this is all tough to hear and take, but in the meantime, Mr. Jim Gray there also says that Tyler Robinson's mother now has spoken and has outlined to the authorities the changes that she saw in her son, and here's how he reports that.
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note.
So the evidence is pretty compelling.
Yeah.
And the death penalty is going to be sought here. And Utah has the death penalty. I mentioned to Jerry just a few moments ago, and I don't know this, but the thought crossed my mind that Robertson will probably go through the whole trial, everything. I don't think he comes before the court until the end of September again. In Utah, they do things a lot quicker. Okay. And if he is found guilty of this charge and he's given the death penalty, it wouldn't surprise me if Erica Kirk steps in and says, "Spare his life."
Boy, that would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise. I'm not saying she will. I have no insight of that, but it would be the ultimate Christian gesture of redemption. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. In the meantime, the attorney there said something that was really interesting that's spilling over into all of this. And Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott yesterday said in Texas, the Texas Education Agency, this is TEA, have announced that more than 100 educators are under investigation and could face suspension of their teaching certificates and credentials for social media posts related to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. In other words, they are championing the assassination.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's shocking.
In some classrooms, we've heard where a teacher back east was showing the actual assassination over and over to the students and said, "This is what you do with fascists."
Wow.
So if they get expelled and lose their credentials, then so be it. But can you imagine this in the education level? Now, I have to say something, folks. There's another thing here that's coming up to me that's really, really interesting. I don't know where this is going to go, but I think there is a topic arising here. And that is that we can hold people accountable for what they do outside of the office.
Yeah.
So if a teacher goes outside the classroom on their own time and posts something on social media, it could cost them their job.
Yeah. Well.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to go, whoa, this is a whole nother can of worms. Because I have attended enough Christian HR seminars to know that when you folks leave the Dove, I have no control over your life.
Okay.
And if you go out and post something that would be anti-Christian, there isn't a thing I can do about it.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
but I see this changing. If I fired you because you went out and posted an anti-Christian post on your social media on your time out of this building, you could sue me.
Wow. Wow.
For wrongful dismissal.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I just sense there's another problem brewing here that's going to be really interesting. So we'll see how, the attorneys, they're the only ones that go to the bank on Friday and make deposits.
That's true.
The rest of us are doing withdrawals. They're making deposits.
Yeah.
All right, one other quick thing, as we mentioned earlier, the President and the First Lady are getting, quote, the royal treatment.
Yeah.
They are over there with a full-blown state visit and traveling to Windsor County. So they spent the night there. I think they're flying back today. The whole thing has just been an amazing time. I'm not sure what the conversations are.
I would love to hear them. I really would.
I understand they're everything that we want them to be.
Okay.
Now, you're talking to somebody that's a king and has no influence as far as Parliament is concerned, other than, yes, he does have influence, but he can't make it do anything.
Yeah.
He can give his opinion.
Right.
But this is really remarkable. And you know what's interesting about this? This is the right thing for England to do because England's in trouble.
Big time.
And England needs the United States to help straighten out the mess over there.
Yeah.
They're losing their First Amendment right. They don't have First Amendment. They're losing their free speech rights.
Right, yeah.
They have dual forms of government over there because they've allowed pockets of Sharia law to be exercised in certain parts of the country. And they have an immigration problem that's really crazy.
Yeah.
And their crime rate is going up. They need America.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this goes. Kind of interesting, isn't it?
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just love all the pomp. I think it's,
It's fun to watch. I want to see the hats. I haven't seen any hats
Okay,
yet.
we'll see if we can find one. Melania's hat was pretty impressive.
All right.
I mean, she could probably she could give rain rest to 20 people under that hat.
I love it.
It's the most beautiful hat umbrella you ever seen in your life. We'll see if we can get a picture for you. Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I realized through the 700 Club that the money that I was giving them, God's money, they were doing God's work with.
They're on the front lines of ministry, meeting the needs of people.
I called their prayer hotline and they asked me, do you want to become a partner? And I was like, yeah, why hasn't anyone asked me this before?
CBN is doing such a great job. Try giving and you'll see that God is faithful.
Watch the 700 Club Wednesday morning at 11 on the Dove TV.
Co-op, where big ideas grow.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Every day in Southern Oregon, lives are shaken by poverty, violence, and hardship. Last year alone, the Salvation Army reached more than 11,000 people in Jackson County with food, shelter, and critical support. Behind every meal served, every family housed, and every life restored, there's a volunteer making it happen. Please join us. There are many ways you can volunteer and make a difference in someone's life today. The Salvation Army doing the most good together. This message made possible by the Oregon Health Authority Hospital-Based Intervention Grant.
From top home sellers in the Valley with John L. Scott.
To making RV consignment effortless.
American RV, where Team Toner gets your RV sold fast.
Welcome back. 27 minutes past the hour. Just a couple of backyard stories here that I wanted to kind of bring your attention to. One of them is the governor yesterday, Governor Tina Kotek, is directing all state agencies to hold positions vacant longer, halt all out-of-state travel for conferences, and brace for much larger budget reductions in the future as the state readies itself to lose more than $15 billion in federal funding. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She says, quote, I'm asking you to leave no stone unturned to save taxpayer dollars, the governor wrote in a letter Tuesday to all of the state agencies. This challenge is not unique to Oregon, but how we respond will be. Our resilience and teamwork and determination have carried us through tough times before. Bottom line is, all the federal dollars that they used to get are being certainly cut back because of the federal government cutting back, and that's impacting states across the country. So she is making, no, look, this is what you do. You cut things down, okay? But on the other hand, we got another little problem going. Do you remember the special session?
Yeah.
It's still in session.
Okay.
And it could go all the way through until September 29th or August 1st, depending on a certain Democratic senator, Gorsuch. He is a senator from Gresham. Apparently, he's been hospitalized from some complications of surgery. And they don't want to take the vote because they need him in the Senate to pass Now, do you remember when this was a $350 million shortfall? So certain people in ODOT wouldn't lose their job.
Right.
So instead of using the rainy day fund, they decided to do across the board tax hike. It's still being argued. The first visit of the tax hike was going to be over 10 years, $10 billion. Since the special session, it's now $4.3 billion in tax increases over the next 10 years.
Wow.
This is ludicrous. Yeah. And they can't get it through because this one senator is in the hospital and they're waiting for him to get back so they can go ahead and pass it. Now, as you know, on the Republican side, they had some leadership changes. Our good friend Bruce Starr has now become the new Republican senator in the Senate. But here's the deal. They are still getting $178 a day per diem for being in a special session that they can't bring to a close. They want to raise your taxes over 10 years in the state of Oregon, $4.3 billion, while at the same time she's saying, let's be good stewards and cut our budget back.
Right, yeah.
Only, I mean, this is, you talk about new math. That I don't think there's, you know what, I don't even think AI could straighten this out.
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy. Anyway, so much for that. Take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's going on. And we have some cooler temperatures. The high pressure ridge is weakening, and the temperatures will ever slow slightly go down. If you look way out there, see that little blue-green thing? That could produce something next week.
Right. About this time next week, could be raining, and we could see temperatures dropping down next week into the 70s.
There you go.
How about that? All right. Well, we look at the state of affairs with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and we look at the assassin himself. Who's going to defend him? Who will be the attorney? Will it be an appointed attorney? Will somebody step up and handle this pro bono? But I don't know. On Newsmax's Wake Up America, your friend, Alan Dershowitz, discussed the difficulty of finding a defense attorney for the alleged Charlie Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson.
Oh, I think they will probably release more information. There's an alleged confession that he made in writing that may be part of the charges. Remember, these are only the state charges. The federal government still has to decide whether there is jurisdiction and whether they want to bring charges. The other issue, remember, this is going to be a virtual appearance, so he's not going to be standing in front of the judge and probably what he'll say is not guilty. He also needs to have a lawyer appointed, unless a lawyer has already been appointed. And we don't know whether he has the resources to pay for a lawyer, whether he has a lawyer, or whether the state will have to provide a lawyer. This is a capital case, so obviously he needs to have not only a lawyer, but an extremely experienced lawyer, and particularly one experienced in capital cases in Utah. So it won't be easy to find a lawyer like that who is willing to take the case. There are so many lawyers who are afraid of being attacked for taking a case. They forget the John Adams precedent of representing those accused of the Boston massacres in the run-up to the Revolutionary War. So I hope there'll be a lawyer brave enough, bold enough, and competent enough to provide this man an adequate defense. Whether he's guilty or innocent, he's entitled to a defense under the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. What if he pleads guilty? Is it over?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no trial? I mean, how is he going to plead not guilty against this evidence?
You know, we've seen stranger things, haven't we?
Yeah. So where's the twist in this one? Where is the ambiguity of the case that will get him a trial? I mean, it's kind of like the one where the guy, murdered those students up in Idaho.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you kind of go, okay, where was the ambiguity of it, And then they start piecing it together, and the DNA and everything. They already got the DNA of him on the trigger of the gun.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking, okay, so now what do you do with this?
Right. Well, they we've seen trials where they challenge DNA based on mishandling. In fact, we saw that in the O.J. case. And so,
he turned himself in.
Who did?
This guy.
This guy turned himself in?
Yes. Yeah, we now found out that he went to his parents and they worked with the.
I thought they turned him in.
Huh?
I thought they turned him in.
They did. Then he turned himself in too. So they arrested him. Okay, so it's not as if, and he left the note of confession underneath his keyboard.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so what are you going to do with this?
Yeah. Yeah. But he did also instruct his roommate to kind of destroy that evidence,
well, that's
including the text.
That's the obstruction part.
Right. So he's still trying to cover himself up.
Maybe that was to protect his roommate. I don't know. But the point is that he went to his parents and said he did it. They called. They got him.
Right. Right.
So it basically turned himself in. So the point I'm wondering here is, can he really plead not guilty now?
Sure he can.
Well, he will.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, okay, so what are we going to do with this?
We're going to let it play out in the courts. Yeah, and we'll see. And to Alan Dershowitz's point, we'll see who takes it. Yeah, who takes it? Who wants that hot potato?
Wants that reputation?
Yeah.
Oh my stars! Do you really want to take a capital case that you're going to lose? That's basically, and it's a high-profile case, and you're going to be a bad guy for doing it.
Right. That's a good point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. What's today? Oh, Monte Cristo?
Monte Cristo.
Which is a French toast ham and cheese sandwich.
I'll take it.
With syrup on it.
You know, holy devotion to you. My life is my sacrifice. Daily surrender.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site 24/7 in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
Life is complicated enough. Why worry about what to do with your extra car? Skip the costs of maintaining it, storing it, insuring it, or renewing registration. Car repairs? Forget about it. Here's one easy solution to your car problem. Donate it to our station. It's fast, free, tax deductible, and if you donate, you're going to feel incredible knowing you're supporting quality programming. Interested? Just call this toll-free number or donate online. Thank you.
Clean water is essential to your good health. Ultra Pure Purified Water has been delivering purified, healthy drinking water to the Rogue Valley since 1995. Locally owned and family run, Ultra Pure Purified Water uses a multi-stage process ensuring your delivery of water is 99.8% pure, so your family stays hydrated and healthy. Online at ultrapurewaterinc.com or call 541-734-0828. 541-734-0828.
Happy Wednesday, 23 minutes before the hour. Let's check in with CBN Newswatch and get the latest of what's happening with Israel steps in and tightens the noose, if I can say, around Hamas. We'll be right back. Here it is.
This is CBN Newswatch.
It is Wednesday, the 17th of September, going to begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israel's ground operation against Hamas in Gaza City is ramping up. At the same time, its defense force says Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield ever. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's been invited to visit the White House again. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story, reporting now from Jerusalem.
As Israeli troops penetrate deeper into Gaza City, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says nearly 400,000 Gazans have left the area.
Today, I gave an order in a discussion at the Ministry of Defense to find ways to allow them to leave more easily. They want to leave. They want to get out of there from the city because they're responding to us and not to Hamas, which, by the way, is shooting at them to prevent them from doing so.
The IDF issued a map showing a new transportation route that it's open to the south, which will be available to Gazans for 2 days.
The situation is very difficult for us, and we have no money at all. My father is in poor health and needs help to push the handcart. There is no safe place in Gaza, and we'll have to sleep on the street like others tonight.
IDF spokesman Brigadier General Effie Dufresne says Israeli forces are using precision strikes with air, ground, and intelligence forces to strike Hamas military targets in what he called the central hub of the terror group's military and governing power.
Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield in history. Beneath the streets runs a vast network of tunnels connecting command centers, rocket launchers, and weapon storage facilities, all deliberately hidden under civilians and civilian infrastructure.
He says the IDF's main mission is to bring the 48 hostages home.
Hamas continues to hold dozens of our hostages in inhuman conditions. Their safe return is at the forefront of our mission. They are the reason we continue our fight.
Despite nearly 2 years of war and other challenges, Netanyahu told the nation on Tuesday the economy is in good shape.
The Israeli economy is very strong. I have terrific confidence in it. It is strong. It is innovative. It weathered 2 economic crises. The Corona crisis came out first in the world, and the two-year war, where we have an enormous amount of investments. People are coming, and they'll continue to come for everything that we're doing, not only the economy and the technology of today, but the technology of the future, cyber, AI, and so many other things.
The Prime Minister also announced President Trump invited him to the White House in late September after Netanyahu addresses the UN General Assembly. It will be their 4th meeting at the White House since Trump took office in January. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Our Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell joining us now to continue our coverage today. So, Chris, how successful has Israel been in helping people get out of harm's way in Gaza City?
Well, Ephraim, I think it's been very successful, but not successful enough so far. As Julie said, 400,000 Gazans have already left the city, but this is out of a city of maybe 900,000 to 1 million. That's why they've opened up that second corridor so people can get out safely. And this is a whole design behind this effort by the IDF, is to make sure the Gazans are not in harm's way. They're not the human shields that Hamas is using. So very successful, but they're also, they want more and more people to come out as they progress to defeat Hamas militarily, but also, as Julie said, make sure that they can get those 48 remaining hostages, 20 that they believe are still alive.
Is Hamas following through on its plan to use the hostages as human shields against Israeli forces?
Well, Ephraim, it's nothing we've seen so far that is maybe the threat that they would bring them above ground, put them in harm's way, put them in shooting range of a tank or a platoon of IDF soldiers. We haven't heard of anything quite yet, but that is a threat that Hamas has said, something that President Trump warned Hamas about 2 days ago, and said that this was one of the worst atrocities you can imagine. So right now, many people are hoping, praying for the deliverance of those 48 remaining hostages. Many believe they're in Gaza City, likely been in those tunnels for many, many months.
Wow. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's check out the weather as we look into a beautiful Wednesday.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, sunny skies with daytime highs near 80 for Vancouver and Portland, near 83 in Wilsonville, and 81 for McMinnville, with a calm wind becoming north around 5 miles per hour this afternoon. Great weather continues as we move down the Willamette Valley with sunny skies and daytime highs in the low 80s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene with a light northwest wind. Sunny skies again today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the mid-80s for Prineville and low 80s for Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, sunny with a high near 84 and a low tonight in the mid-50s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 70s in Coos Bay. Sunny with a high near 70 for Port Orford. Mostly sunny in low 60s for Brookings and decreasing clouds in mid-60s in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, sunny and calm for the Rogue Valley with daytime highs in the low 90s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 89 in Ashland. Much the same for the Klamath Basin, sunny and mid-80s. Into Northern California, sunny and low 90s around Wairika. Sunny and hot from Redding with a high near 98 through Chico near 97 and Sacramento near 99, the hot spot on our map. In the Bay Area, sunny with daytime highs near 91 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high near 79 and a light west wind. And today in San Jose, sunny with a high near 91. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, a beautiful day. Stuck my nose out the door here a few moments ago. It is gorgeous out there. Just really nice. That's at the top of Roxanne looking northwest. I'm going to say that's about 285. That's the degree, and that would be the number on the runway, Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm getting all this stuff figured out. Well, you know, I love to look at history, and I like to look at some of the unusual events in history that may not be on our radar, and I found one because it was on this day in history that Joshua Abraham Norton proclaimed himself the Emperor of the United States.
On September 17, 1859, San Francisco gained one of its most colorful figures, Joshua Abraham Norton, who boldly declared himself Emperor Norton I, Emperor of the United States. Frustrated by the country's political divisions and the looming conflict over slavery, Norton issued a proclamation calling for leaders to gather in San Francisco and solve the nation's troubles. While no one in Washington took him seriously, San Franciscans embraced the eccentric emperor. Clad in a blue military uniform with gold epaulets, Norton patrolled the streets, issued his own currency, and made proclamations, some whimsical, some visionary. One decree even called for building a bridge between San Francisco and Oakland, an idea realized decades later with the Bay Bridge. Though he held no real power, Emperor Norton earned respect and affection. Businesses honored his self-printed money, and local papers published his decrees. When he died in 1880, thousands lined the streets to mourn the emperor who ruled only in spirit.
Emperor Norton. He issued his own currency, and businesses accepted it. Now check it out. His currency is now highly collectible.
Well, I would imagine it would be.
A 50-cent bond dated 1878 with his signature recently sold for $10,000.
He didn't have a middle name like Trump or Donald or anything, did he?
I thought of that while I was putting this story together.
I mean, you know, come on. There's a little going on here.
Absolutely. I love it.
All right, let's check in with Edward Graham. He delivers presents to children in a church in Ethiopia.
I'm in Addis Ababa, and this is the capital of Ethiopia. An Operation Christmas Child partnering to this church just gave out shoe boxes full of toys. And the excitement, the joy, these kids were so excited to open up their boxes.
Today is a historical day here. This church here in Ethiopia received the boxes for the first time. The children are excited. We shared the gospel. We told them about Jesus Christ. We are looking forward to see children discipled and reaching out for Jesus in this community.
I want these kids to know they're loved, they're not forsaken, that Jesus Christ died on a cross for them. And that's what Operation Christmas Child does. It goes around the world and shares the gospel boldly. So thank you for packing a shoebox. And if you've never packed one, it's an easy way to share the gospel.
God bless you. Thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for supporting Operation Christmas Child to make a great impact here in Ethiopia. God bless you.
Operation Christmas Child, and the shoe boxes will be distributed here shortly, and they'll be collected shortly, and be a part of it. If you've never done it, it's very rewarding. You can get a barcode and know where your box went.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome home to the Dove, an encouraging place, an informative place, a safe network for your entire family, offering hope.
Welcome home.
The Dove's mission is to be a beacon of truth, providing authentic faith-based content to those seeking Christ and those faithful, from a who's who of respected Christian teachers.
Welcome home to the Dove.
The Dove Network, broadcasting and streaming reliable, trustworthy news, information, and talk. Featuring Mornings on the Dove, Focus Today, CBN News, and other current affairs programming to stay connected. The Dove Network, a trusted friend, enriching your faith with reliable, inspiring content and spiritual resources that will change your life forever.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, radio, and the Dove.us.
The Dove, encouraging and informative. You are welcome here.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
Alex McFarland addresses the hard-hitting questions about faith, morality, and culture.
We are to present, explain, defend the gospel.
Watch Alex McFarland Tuesdays and weekends on the Dove TV.
Okay, welcome back. Yesterday, I had Megan Barth on. Now, she's interesting because you never know. Kind of like having, Friel.
Oh, Todd.
Todd Friel.
Yeah, yeah, they do have some things in common, don't they?
Yeah. So you have Todd Friel on, you ask him a question, and then you can go out and have a hamburger to shake and come back.
Right.
And sometimes you can do that with Megan Barth. You know, you can just ask her a question where she goes. But she was genuinely shaken by Charlie Kirk, and so I asked her for her take, and here's what she had to say.
I had received a text message from my co-editor at the California Globe, and she said that Charlie had been shot. And so I had gone into a private chat that I have with a lot of, I would say, influencers, conservatives, politicians, etc. And there was a lot of misinformation going around. And then my girlfriend in California sent me the video. And I thought perhaps it was AI because it was so horrific and so gruesome that my mind really couldn't accept it. And I remember asking God, why did I have to see that? Why did I have to open that text? But then I realized that there was a reason I had to see Charlie get assassinated. And that was because I had to be reminded of the horror and the underbelly of the left, which I've talked about for over a decade. When Trump was elected the first time, 10 years ago, they began maligning not just President Trump, but the entire conservative brand, the entire MAGA movement behind President Trump, conservative Americans, anyone who didn't think like the left or believe like the left. We were considered fascists. We were labeled Nazis. And it wasn't just Democratic politicians. And if you recall, going all the way back to the Tea Party in 2008, they were referring to us as Nazis. They were referring to us as radical extremists, a threat to democracy. Don't you think that calling people Nazis and fascists and threat to democracies is going to trigger somebody who is mentally unwell? And that's exactly what has continued to happen. And when we look at what happened to Charlie Kirk, my immediate reaction was not only grief and shock and anger, but I expected it. I expected that this rhetoric, that the communist left, that the Marxist left, that the nihilist left would take matters into their own hands and eliminate that threat to democracy.
So we're in this war of words, and I don't know how you tone the tone down. I mean, they're both, I say this carefully, but both sides are blaming each other for the rhetoric.
Right.
But it's the power of intimidation that shuts you up. And then when you blow up, then see, we told you they were wrong. And I think you need, this is where you have to be as smart as a snake and harmless as a dove. And that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because we talk about a war of words, but it seems as though one side has taken it past words. They're armed, and we've seen them go after the president twice. We see Charlie Kirk now. We saw it years ago when the congressional delegation practicing baseball got opened up on. I mean, this has been going on for some time.
So do you think the American people have transitioned from all of this war of words to the fact that there's only one group and one ideology that's carrying it out physically?
No, because here,
to your point,
yes, it's true.
Have you seen anybody on the right do what the left is doing?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yet, those on the left are still going to blame, as you mentioned, the rhetoric of the right for the violence that's taking place against the right. You can't hardly believe this.
In the mix of all of this is the supreme loss of the value of human life.
Yes. Yeah.
So, okay, stick around. Got some great guests coming up, and look forward to talking to Troy Miller again. He was a personal friend of Charlie. He's the president of the NRB. We have some other things to talk to him about.
Yeah, we ran out of time.
We ran out of time. We're good at that, aren't we?
Yeah.
So,
well, we've got things to talk about.
Well, we'll get back
on our heart.
It's in our heart. Well, it's going to be around for a while. We live in a fast-paced society, and if you go to Jewish traditions, when you lose somebody, they mourn for weeks.
Yeah.
We want to turn the page and move on as if this didn't happen.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Right.
Psalm 23, verse 5 today. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Have you ever sat down and had lunch with the Lord in the middle of a storm?
Wow.
Try it. It works. And we'll be right back.
They're fun-loving twins. They love God, hunting, and pranking each other. Join the Hamptons for outdoor adventure every weekend on Twin Factor. Brought to you by Black Flag Armory in Medford and Grants Pass. Truly excellent service.
Every day in Southern Oregon, lives are shaken by poverty, violence, and hardship. Last year alone, the Salvation Army reached more than 11,000 people in Jackson County with food, shelter, and critical support. Behind every meal served, every family housed, and every life restored, there's a volunteer making it happen. Please join us. There are many ways you can volunteer and make a difference in someone's life today. The Salvation Army doing the most good together. This message made possible by the Oregon Health Authority Hospital Base Intervention Grant.
Welcome to Rise Direct Primary Care. Imagine a healthcare experience where you're known by name, cared for like family, and treated with compassion. How is that possible? With an affordable, flat monthly membership, you receive unlimited primary care and minor urgent care visits. No insurance needed. At Rise Direct Primary Care, we offer a friendly, affordable healthcare experience where you get a whole hour with your provider. Located in Central Medford and accessible by phone or text, we can typically get you in the same or next day. We prescribe urgent care medications directly from our office, saving you a trip and wait time at the pharmacy when you'd rather be at home getting better. Personalized medical care with a human touch. Rise Direct Primary Care is all about healing the sick with compassion and keeping the healthy healthy. Rise Direct Primary Care. We're here for you. Visit risehealthdpc.com or call or text us 541-827-8603. 541-827-8603.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Experienced Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell brings you Jerusalem Dateline, weeknights at 9:30 on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove, where Jerry Bilden is out.
She let me out again.
He's out. There's nothing on his ankle. He's given a pass to exercise his free speech rights.
That's right.
And I'm here to interpret and keep the guardrails.
Well, interpretation is very important, and thank you for that in advance.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
All right, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through. Yesterday was the warm one. Today it backs down about, let's think, about 6-7 degrees.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to do so. Yeah, until we even get a little moisture coming our way.
Yeah, about a week from today it's possible. So we'll look at that. So it's just absolutely, I love this time of year. I love the warm days and the cool nights. I like the trees. The acorns are kind of getting to me, but that's okay. They'll stop falling.
You know, we always kind of have that rule of thumb. It's like, if we're seeing a lot of acorns coming down, we're going to have a heavy winter. So what are you seeing?
Well, a lot of acorns coming down. You know what's interesting? This is no joke. For about the last 4 nights.
Okay.
Do you have those motion lights around your house?
I do not. I took mine down.
Okay.
My dogs were not making me nuts.
Well, we do. And kind of outside our bedroom there. And they go off. I mean, a bird can make them go off, you know.
Yeah.
And so poor old Piper, she goes crazy. So I went over and flipped the switch so they wouldn't come on, you know, because the first night they went off, there was 3 of the biggest bucks staring through our window. I mean, racks like this, and they're fat, and they're eating the acorns.
And they're eating acorns, right.
And they're looking through the rack, and I go, okay. So I flip the light on, they take off.
Okay.
So the other night, I flipped the light off so that it wouldn't come on, okay? Mm-hmm. So I hear the Piper's in the window. She's sniffing the window. I go over and I flip the light on. There are all 3 of them again. Big ones too, and they're in there. And they're eating acorns. I thought, well, okay.
Of course.
You know, I am not telling you where I live, and I know there are seasons. I think both seasons open.
You know, I'm not sure. Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah.
Maybe.
So anyway, but I have to say, I don't know where these 3 hide at, because you don't see them anywhere else in the neighborhood during the day or anything.
Okay.
I have a funny feeling. I kind of know where they're coming from, but you don't see them. But at night, all 3 of them right there eating acorns. Travel pack there. Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. A lot going on in the news. We'll get that to you. What's up?
Well, first of all,
I forgot about this today. Yeah,
it's Constitution Day and Citizenship Day, as you know, we look to the commemoration of the adoption of the Constitution of the United States and those who have become United States citizens. And you know, we keep talking about the fact that we are a land of immigrants, and we encourage immigration. It's just that, you know, we want everybody to do it the right way.
Well, I forgot about this, and I really feel bad. I should have remembered this. But in 1987, I was represented the state of Oregon to go to the White House on the bicentennial of the commission, the bicentennial of the Constitution.
Which is today, yeah.
And Chief Justice Berger was head of the commission. So we go to the White House. We're in the press room, and we meet the Chief Justice. President Reagan comes in and out quickly, but it was all the launching of 1 year celebration of the 200-year celebration of the Constitution.
All right.
And I have such great mementos in my house. I should have brought some of those in. But, gosh, and you know what? I didn't even recognize how important that was until a couple of years later. I go, man, I was a part of that. I didn't even think about it at the time.
Yeah.
But it was the bicentennial of the Constitution of the United States. And that would have been 1987.
Okay, yeah, right. And commemorating the signing of the Constitution in 1787. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, I wish maybe next year you can bring that stuff in.
If I can. I'm getting older and more forgetful. Will you send me a memo?
Yeah, good luck. Thanks. Pam, write that down.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Pam, send me the text. Okay, there you go.
It's funny when people try to book social events with us and then they have trouble connecting with me and getting it right. She always gets on the phone with them and says, "You're talking to the wrong person.
No,
if you want to book things with us, call me."
I'm shifting all that to Melinda now.
Yeah, oh, good.
I just can't remember. Melinda, you take care of it. She's managing the company calendar. That's great.
Yeah, I fall short. Anyway, it's also National Professional House Cleaners Day.
All right.
And I, on my own, am going to extend this to all cleaners. I don't care if you're cleaning businesses, houses, whatever. You feel a vital function, and I have done it. Been there, done that. Cleaned the linoleum floor in 2 beauty shops for my mom. I can strip hairspray off of a linoleum floor and get that baby to shine like nothing you've ever seen. I'm telling you. And I also cleaned my doctor's office weekly. I would go in and do all the exam rooms and everything, and I know exactly what a pumice stone is for.
So let me ask you this: did you use gloves?
Sure.
No, you did not in those days. Yeah, okay. And you lived through all the chemicals?
Well, so far.
So far.
I got a couple things going on that I'm not sure of.
That's all right. All right.
Other than that, let's eat something. It's National Monte Cristo Day, recognizing the indulgent and delicious sandwich made of ham and cheese. Unlike a grilled ham and cheese, the Monte Cristo is the premier version of a grilled ham and cheese. It is a triple-decker, egg-dipped ham and cheese sandwich that is then pan-fried, and there are a number of ways to dress it up, and some of it's even sweet, like syrup.
So you can put jelly on it, syrup.
Yeah.
Basically what it is a French toast ham and cheese sandwich.
Absolutely. It's kind of like the original breakfast sandwich, isn't it?
It is, and you can put jelly on it, syrup on it, look, even a little powdered sugar.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hungry too. It looks good. All right. And if that's not enough for you, have an apple dumpling. It's National Apple Dumpling Day. Apple dumplings are an easy dessert to make. Simply peel and core your apples, season them with cinnamon and sugar, wrap them up in a prepared pastry dough, and then bake the apple until tender. The flavor will be similar to an apple pie. Ooh. So if you don't have dumplings, have some apple pie.
There you go.
All right. And speaking of food, you know, we talk a lot about the food waste that goes on in our country. And, you know, it happens in restaurants. It happens in stores. It happens at home. Some of the statistics are pretty shocking how much stuff we throw away. So, you know, we always hear that phrase, they should outlaw it. They should make a law against that. Well, they have in France. France is the first country in the world that legislated a food waste law that bans supermarkets from wasting unsold food. It mandates that supermarkets must compost their leftover produce or donate the goods to charity. Supermarkets with a footprint of 400 square meters or more must sign donation contracts with local organizations, and those who fail to comply may face penalties, including fines and imprisonment. This law aims to reduce food waste and provides essential food to those in need. So it's an interesting approach. Maybe some might think that's a bit heavy-handed, especially the imprisonment part. You know, you threw away that bad head of lettuce, and you're going to jail. So I don't know. It's a good idea, but I'm not sure if that's what
it seems to be a little heavy-handed. But the message is, look, we put these shelf dates on things.
Yeah.
And with homelessness and hunger being what it is, come on, let's rethink this.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to make this better.
Yeah, and then, you know, that opens up another discussion, and that is, what are those dates all about? Best by or sold by? Or how long can I eat it by?
I don't know.
And still live by?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
All right.
Oh, well.
All right, here's the Monte Cristo of Eagle Point. Right here.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, sunny skies with daytime highs near 80 for Vancouver and Portland, near 83 in Wilsonville, and 81 for McMinnville, with a calm wind becoming north around 5 miles per hour this afternoon. Great weather continues as we move down the Willamette Valley with sunny skies and daytime highs in the low 80s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light northwest wind. Sunny skies again today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the mid-80s for Prineville and low 80s for Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, sunny with a high near 84 and a low tonight in the mid-50s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 70s in Coos Bay. Sunny with a high near 70 for Port Orford. Mostly sunny in low 60s for Brookings and decreasing clouds in mid-60s in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, sunny and calm for the Rogue Valley with daytime highs in the low 90s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 89 in Ashland. Much the same for the Klamath Basin, sunny and mid-80s. Into northern California, sunny and low 90s around Wairika. Sunny and hot from Redding with a high near 98 through Chico near 97 and Sacramento near 99, the hot spot on our map. In the Bay Area, sunny with daytime highs near 91 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high near 79 and a light west wind. And today in San Jose, sunny with a high near 91. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
A beautiful shot of our valley this morning looking to the northwest. The sun is shining on the western hills, not quite fully in the valley yet, but coming your way, and it is a gorgeous day. There's those $3. See them over there?
Right outside your bedroom window. There we go. Well, it's time for Dr. Anthony George as he encourages us to pray for those who God has set in our midst.
But I want to come back to this. Do you and I realize that the threat of violence should never cause us to be afraid? That in the aftermath of tragedy and horrific things that we would never have wanted to experience or even know about, do you realize you should never be afraid when you know in whose hands your life is held? I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand, and his name is Jesus. And let me ask you this. Do you have anyone that you are passionate in sharing your faith with, like Paul was with the Jewish people? Knowing even that they hated him and that they were wanting to kill him. And yet his love was stronger than their hate, and he wanted them to be saved. Do you have anybody in your life that your heart is breaking for because they're not saved? Or you're not sure if they're saved? Are you praying for them? When is the last time you tried to strike up a spiritual conversation? Or maybe you've been told to never bring it up again. And you've not only stopped talking to them and trying to talk, but you've even stopped praying. Can I beg you today, start praying for them again? Even if they've told you they don't ever want to hear you talk about the Lord again, start praying for them, because when you're praying for them, you're hitting them with an invisible weapon that they cannot resist. They cannot shut down the power of the Holy Spirit. When you are praying for them, they can tell you to shut up, but they can't make God shut up. So while you're praying for them, the Holy Spirit can still be knocking on their door and speaking to their heart.
Mm-hmm. I experienced that. Somebody very close to me, I couldn't get through to them, so my pastor at the time said, pray for their friends.
Oh.
And this person's best friend got saved.
Oh.
And came to the person that I was very concerned about and led him to the Lord.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So you never know how God's going to work.
Yeah.
Don't limit God. Okay, just don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
All right, let's take a look at some of the top stories. Good morning to you. Yesterday was a big day in court. The alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, was charged yesterday with all of the various charges by the Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray. I realize this is a little hard to take, but this is the top story of the day, so to speak. And here is the attorney, the Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray, announcing all the charges against Mr. Taylor.
Today, after reviewing the evidence that law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense, for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The state is also charging defendant with count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for moving and concealing the rifle used in the shooting. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for disposing the clothing he wore during the shooting. Count 5, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to delete his incriminating texts. Count 6, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned him. And count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor, for committing homicide knowing that children were present and may have seen or heard the murder and did so based on Charlie Kirk's political expression. Also, following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
Hard to take, but that's the way it is. In the meantime, Jim Gray there, the Utah County District Attorney, talked to Tyler Robinson's mother. His mother now has come out and has outlined to authorities the changes that she saw in her son, and then went in to talk about they actually found a written notice of admittance. And so here's what he had to say.
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note.
So the evidence is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they find a defense attorney to take the case. A capital crime, I don't know what they do with this.
That's a huge question. What do you do there?
In the meantime, it's hard to believe that the people celebrating this are numerous. And Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas Education Agency, the TEA, have announced that more than 100 educators are now under investigation and could face suspension of their teaching certificate for social media posts related to the assassination, and basically saying, you know, it was a good thing. 180 complaints alleging that teachers posted comments online that celebrated Kirk's death and called for violence. So these are teachers on their own time posting. They got caught. And we know that some teachers back east have actually posted the video in young kids' classrooms to say, this is what happens to fascists. So there's a side of this that's so ugly, your brain's on tilt. You can't process it. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, our president flies over to the UK. He actually has been given, quote, the royal treatment. And he's at Windsor Castle. The whole thing was pretty amazing. And so here they come off, and they're greeted by William and Kate.
Oh, wow.
There's
the hat.
There's the hat. Yeah. And so it's a 24-hour whirlwind. They spent the night at Windsor Castle in one of the exclusive rooms. Now he's meeting the king and the queen. And I'd like to know what the tradition is about the hats.
Yeah.
So anyway, in the royal coach they go, and they go over to Windsor Castle, and then inside the courtyard there, they had quite the ceremony.
Kind of looks like an episode of Downton Abbey, doesn't it?
Well, it is. Yeah. Look, I kind of like all this stuff. I think it's fun to watch.
Well, I think that's why we like that show so much too. You know, it's fun to watch that stuff.
So anyway, there's the four of them. I mean, this is the second time that the Trumps have received a state visit in the UK. So he flies home today, and then he'll be Sunday at Charlie Kirk's memorial in Arizona.
Let me ask you now, on a trip like this, is it all ceremony, or is there anything substantive that is talked about? How does it work?
I don't know, but what I read was that the president and the king were going to sit down and have some substantive discussion about certain things. As you know, the king can speak, and he does have influence, but he's not
he doesn't have any power.
He has really no power.
Yeah.
But I think there's another part of this. These two countries have to show the strength of their alliance. The UK is hurting and is in a mess. They got two systems of government. They've allowed for pockets of Sharia law to pop up. Their citizens are losing their free speech rights and their freedom of religion rights. And yet, I was on a phone call yesterday with a gentleman from the UK. I had on my phone call, I had a guy from the UK, I had a guy from South Africa, I had a guy from New Zealand, I had a guy from Canada.
Wow.
And we were having our international call. And there is a underground revival brewing in the UK, which is very, very healthy.
Really?
You got to remember our Christian roots came from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, we'll see how it all works out, but that's what's going on. All right. Well, we'll take a Monte Cristo. Would you want jelly on it or syrup?
Yeah.
So basically, it's French toast. With ham and cheese in it.
Yes, grilled. Yeah. Oh, sounds wonderful.
You ever had one?
You know, I can't say that I have. No.
You may have and just didn't know it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you need a Monte Cristo roll.
I thought I was eating French toast with ham on the side. And I started cutting them, put them in together in a little cheese. And I ate one not knowing.
It could have been.
Yeah, it's breakfast.
That was after you polished the floors with toxic things in the doctor's office.
Clean my nasal passages out.
I belong to you, you and you alone. I belong to you.
Grange Co-op, where big ideas grow.
Hi, I'm Sherry Breslin with Rogue Valley Security. Whether it's alarms, cameras, keyless entry, or even Starlink, we tailor solutions for your home or business. We believe in professionalism, excellence, and integrity. Every job, every time. Visit RogueValleySecurity.com.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site 24/7 in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
Looking for the perfect RV adventure?
Team Toner's got you covered from homes to homes on wheels.
Discover unbeatable deals only at American RV in Southern Oregon.
All right, welcome back. And just a couple things going on. This so-called special session is still going on, but in the meantime, Governor Tina Kotek has issued a directive to all the agencies, basically saying we're going to have some budget cuts. I'm asking you to leave no stone unturned to save taxpayer dollars. She wrote in a letter yesterday to state agency heads, and basically saying that we halt all out-of-state travel for conferences, embrace for much larger budget reductions in the future, and get ready yourself to lose more than $15 billion in federal funding normally coming from the feds. So, as you know, the Fed's tightening its budget. The states are feeling it across the country, and she's basically saying to the agencies, hang in there. Get ready for reductions.
Wait a minute, isn't this the same kind of move that DOGE just did at a federal level recently and took a lot of heat for?
Yeah.
Huh?
So anyway.
What's up?
All right, the other one is back to the special session. Well, they haven't closed it, and they haven't ended it, primarily because Senator Chris Gorsuch, he's a Democrat senator from Gresham, remains in the hospital, and they need his vote to pass. Listen to this. Now, when this first went out, remember it was 6 cents on a gallon of gas. It was doubling the payroll tax, and the list goes on and on and on. The first estimate was that this was going to be to fill a $350 million gap so some people at ODOT wouldn't lose their job. Pretty simple. Take it out of the rainy day fund, pay for it, and then put this agency under audit. No. Let's just use this as an excuse to go across the board for a tax increase over 10 years. And it was going to be up around $2 billion. That was the estimate over 10 years. Well, it came out yesterday. It's going to be $4.3 billion. And now the vote to finalize this has been delayed because they don't have the votes in the Senate to pass it. And this could extend the special session till September 29th or October 1st, depending on the senators' recovery and getting back for the vote. Now, as you know, Bruce Starr has become the head of the Republicans in the Senate, and they have certainly presented all kinds of alternative. Christine Drazan in the House, and they're just getting steamrolled because they're the minority.
Right.
And so this is what happens when you have a supermajority. But folks, this is crazy. On one hand, she's saying, you know, be conservative and cut your budgets and hold it down. And over here she's saying, so let's just put it on the back of taxpayers and give them a $4.3 billion tax increase over 10 years. Well, I'll tell you what will happen. People won't hire people, and businesses will leave.
Yeah.
That's what will happen.
All right. Well, you're about to go to stocks, but before you do that, the Fed is going to make an announcement today, aren't they?
Who?
In fact, the Federal Reserve Board.
Oh, yeah.
And it's being anticipated that they are going to
cut
lower interest rates. How do you think that's going to affect the stock market?
Well, hopefully favorably.
Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Wall Street. And thank you, Preston, over at Smart Lawn, for helping us with this morning. Let's take a look and see what's happening. The Dow is up 267 points in anticipation. The Nasdaq is down 62, and the S&P is off not even a point.
Yeah.
So kind of mixed bag at the potential announcement of a rate reduction. Gold's down, but still up, 37.14. Silver's at 42 1/3, and crude oil down, but it's up almost $68 a barrel. So if they lower the rates, I think this will happen. But look, folks, I got to tell you something. Let's just be honest. We're in this tough spot of tariffs and rates and all that because you know what? Prices on everything is high.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything that's not high right now.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty tough. It's really tough.
Well, on Newsmax's Wake Up America, Alan Dershowitz reacted to this clip of Dan Bongino talking about the investigation of alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson.
This is not the end of this investigation. It's not even the end of the beginning of the investigation. We've just started. The fact that we have a suspect, and everybody's obviously innocent until proven guilty in this constitutional republic we have, but we are investigating a potential broader network of people who may have known.
The best thing that could happen to this defendant is if they begin an investigation to try to get other people involved, because then they may want to make a deal with him. Remember, he's been, and he may want to exchange information if there are other people involved for eliminating the death penalty or something like that. So, somebody once said, in the halls of justice, the only justice takes place in the halls. And we're going to see, once he gets a lawyer, we're going to see negotiations. We're going to see attempts to try to minimize the penalty. We're not going to see a plea of not guilty realistically at trial. He's not going to be able to deny that he did it. The evidence seems overwhelming that he is the trigger man. Will he try to defend on the ground of insanity? Who knows? Or will he try to mitigate the sentence on grounds of insanity? Will he ultimately cooperate and turn in other people? This is all in the realm of speculation. And then, of course, there's the federal death penalty, which is applicable too if there is jurisdiction in this case. And so this is, as was said by the head of the FBI, this is the beginning, not the end, of a long investigation that will culminate ultimately either in a plea of guilty or a trial, probably a plea of guilty.
Interesting.
Plea guilty for a plea deal.
For a plea deal, right. Do you think anybody would be willing to make a deal on the prosecution side?
Well, look, it's a high-profile case. You're taking a client that you're going to lose.
Right.
So the only thing you can do is take this to bolster your ability to negotiate a deal.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be the only incentive for doing
prediction.
it. Yeah.
There will be no plea deal unless they uncover evidence that he wasn't alone. If he wasn't alone and he's willing to talk, then watch. Then this whole equation could change.
Could be true.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's, so you ought to have Monte Cristo for breakfast more often.
Okay. I can't argue that.
All right, we're going to take a syrup break. We'll be right back.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express. Breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm Guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why at Kelly's, it's automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond. But that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Clean water is essential to your good health. Ultra Pure Purified Water has been delivering purified, healthy drinking water to the Rogue Valley since 1995. Locally owned and family run, Ultra Pure Purified Water uses a multi-stage process ensuring your delivery of water is 99.8% pure, so your family stays hydrated and healthy. Online at ultrapurewaterinc.com or call 541-734-0828. 541-734-0828.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes before the hour, and checking in with CBN News Watch, we find out that Israel is stepping up the attacks on Hamas and putting the squeeze on. So let's get the latest from CBN News.
This is CBN News Watch.
It is Wednesday, the 17th of September, going to begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israel's ground operation against Hamas in Gaza City is ramping up. At the same time, its defense force says Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield ever. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's been invited to visit the White House again. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story, reporting now from Jerusalem.
As Israeli troops penetrate deeper into Gaza City, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says nearly 400,000 Gazans have left the area.
Today, I gave an order in a discussion at the Ministry of Defense to find ways to allow them to leave more easily. They want to leave. They want to get out of there from the city because they're responding to us and not to Hamas, which, by the way, is shooting at them to prevent them from doing so.
The IDF issued a map showing a new transportation route that it's open to the south, which will be available to Gazans for 2 days.
The situation is very difficult for us, and we have no money at all. My father is in poor health and needs help to push the handcart. There is no safe place in Gaza, and we'll have to sleep on the street like others tonight.
IDF spokesman Brigadier General Effie Dufresne says Israeli forces are using precision strikes with air, ground, and intelligence forces to strike Hamas military targets in what he called the central hub of the terror group's military and governing power.
Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield in history. Beneath the streets runs a vast network of tunnels connecting command centers, rocket launchers, and weapon storage facilities, all deliberately hidden under civilians and civilian infrastructure.
He says the IDF's main mission is to bring the 48 hostages home.
Hamas continues to hold dozens of our hostages in inhuman conditions. Their safe return is at the forefront of our mission. They are the reason we continue our fight.
Despite nearly 2 years of war and other challenges, Netanyahu told the nation on Tuesday the economy is in good shape.
The Israeli economy is very strong. I have terrific confidence in it. It is strong, it is innovative. It weathered 2 economic crises. The Corona crisis came out first in the world, and the two-year war, where we have an enormous amount of investments. People are coming, and they'll continue to come for everything that we're doing, not only the economy and the technology of today, but the technology of the future, cyber, AI, and so many other things.
The prime minister also announced President Trump invited him to the White House in late September after Netanyahu addresses the UN General Assembly. It will be their fourth meeting at the White House since Trump took office in January. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Our Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell joining us now to continue our coverage today. So, Chris, how successful has Israel been in helping people get out of harm's way in Gaza City?
Well, Ephraim, I think it's been very successful, but not successful enough so far. As Julie said, 400,000 Gazans have already left the city, but this is out of a city of maybe 900,000 to 1 million. That's why they've opened up that second corridor so people can get out safely. And this is a whole design behind this effort by the IDF, is to make sure the Gazans are not in harm's way. They're not the human shields that Hamas is using. So very successful, but they're also, they want more and more people to come out as they progress to defeat Hamas militarily, but also, as Julie said, make sure that they can get those 48 remaining hostages, 20 that they believe are still alive.
Is Hamas following through on its plan to use the hostages as human shields against Israeli forces?
Well, Ephraim, it's nothing we've seen so far that is maybe the threat that they would bring them above ground, put them in harm's way, put them in shooting range of a tank or a platoon of IDF soldiers. We haven't heard of anything quite yet, but that is a threat that Hamas has said, something that President Trump warned Hamas about 2 days ago, and said that this was one of the worst atrocities you can imagine. So right now, many people are hoping, praying for the deliverance of those 48 remaining hostages. Many believe they're in Gaza City, likely been in those tunnels for many, many months.
Yeah, boy. The squeeze is on. All right, good morning to you. 21 minutes before they are, let's check out the weather with Mr. Monte Cristo himself.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, sunny skies with daytime highs near 80 for Vancouver and Portland, near 83 in Wilsonville, and 81 for McMinnville, with a calm wind becoming north around 5 miles per hour this afternoon. Great weather continues as we move down the Willamette Valley with sunny skies and daytime highs in the low 80s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light northwest wind. Sunny skies again today across central Oregon with daytime highs in the mid-80s for Prineville and low 80s for Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, sunny with a high near 84 and a low tonight in the mid-50s. Along the Oregon coast, patchy fog, then sunny in low 70s in Coos Bay. Sunny with a high near 70 for Port Orford. Mostly sunny in low 60s for Brookings and decreasing clouds in mid-60s in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, sunny and calm for the Rogue Valley with daytime highs in the low 90s for Grants Pass and Medford and near 89 in Ashland. Much the same for the Klamath Basin, sunny and mid-80s. Into northern California, sunny and low 90s around Wairika. Sunny and hot from Redding with a high near 98 through Chico near 97 and Sacramento near 99, the hot spot on our map. In the Bay Area, sunny with daytime highs near 91 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high near 79 and a light west wind. And today in San Jose, sunny with a high near 91. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
And a beautiful shot of our southern portion of the valley this morning, east to west, and more sunshine. Actually, it's just a gorgeous morning out there. Beautiful fall morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is no secret that I love history, and I like some of the more unusual events that we find in history. And I have one because it was on this day in history that Joshua Abraham Norton proclaimed himself the Emperor of the United States.
On September 17, 1859, San Francisco gained one of its most colorful figures, Joshua Abraham Norton, who boldly declared himself Emperor Norton I, Emperor of the United States. Frustrated by the country's political divisions and the looming conflict over slavery, Norton issued a proclamation calling for leaders to gather in San Francisco and solve the nation's troubles. While no one in Washington took him seriously, San Franciscans embraced the eccentric emperor. Clad in a blue military uniform with gold epaulets, Norton patrolled the streets, issued his own currency, and made proclamations, some whimsical, some visionary. One decree even called for building a bridge between San Francisco and Oakland, an idea realized decades later with the Bay Bridge. Though he held no real power, Emperor Norton earned respect and affection. Businesses honored his self-printed money, and local papers published his decrees. When he died in 1880, thousands lined the streets to mourn the emperor who ruled only in spirit.
Businesses accepted his currency, and his currency today is highly collectible. A 50-cent bond dated 1878 with his signature sold for just over $10,000.
Really?
Yeah.
So he didn't have any relatives named Don. Or Trump or anything like that.
No. Yeah, you talk about a threat to democracy.
Do you
He's
think
the emperor?
So would that been? I want to be respectful here, but would that have been like mental health?
Yeah, they said that, the more I read about this, they said that he may have been affected by a mental health issue where you have grandiose visions of yourself and your position in society. And there was a name for it, but it was, it was one of those psychiatric terms.
We call it narcissism today.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, I think that's it.
No, but you just got to wonder. So he wasn't related to Trump then, was he?
No, he wasn't related. And he had no real power, only though, he tried to rule. So it kind of reminds me of King Charles.
Well, there you go.
I don't know.
Well, you know what's cool about it? Is the culture rolled with it.
Yeah, and
They actually picked up on. We had a guy around here years ago. He thought he was God.
What?
Yeah, don't you remember him?
No, who was it?
Yeah, remember he drove the white car and he dressed in white and he'd come in the office and try to convince us of things. Then he lost his driver's license and he rode a white bike. Don't you remember? Maybe it was before your time.
I think.
And he thought he was God, and he'd come in and he'd say all these things and leave.
No, I never met. And
then
him.
he lost his bike, and he actually hired a taxi to come to the office one time, and he was all dressed in white. Everything. He was white. The bike was white. His car was white.
Really?
And he'd come in and he would declare things over the top of us, And obviously, he had problems, but.
You're not talking about Doc, are you?
No, Doc was the opposite of that. Okay. No, this is an actual guy. I mean, he's gone now. I mean, I don't know what happened to him.
No, I missed that part.
Oh, he'd come in all the time, and he'd drive up in his white car, and you kind of, okay, here we go,
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah, well, you didn't. All right, good morning to you. Listen, in the meantime, we're getting into the season where these SKU boxes, that go all over the world.
Yeah.
Well, here's a little bit of a reminder that they really impact young people. This is Edward Graham in Ethiopia.
I'm in Addis Ababa, and this is the capital of Ethiopia. An Operation Christmas Child partnering to this church just gave out shoe boxes full of toys. And the excitement, the joy, these kids were so excited to open up their boxes.
Today is a historical day here. This church here in Ethiopia received the boxes for the first time. The children are excited. We shared the gospel. We told them about Jesus Christ. We are looking forward to see children discipled and reaching out for Jesus in this community.
I want these kids to know they're loved, they're not forsaken, that Jesus Christ died on a cross for them. And that's what Operation Christmas Child does. It goes around the world and shares the gospel boldly. So thank you for packing a shoebox. And if you've never packed one, it's an easy way to share the gospel.
God bless you. Thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for supporting Operation Christmas Child to make a great impact here in Ethiopia. God bless you.
All right, 'tis the season, so maybe your church is involved, you've been involved, but get the boxes, get ready, because that date's coming on us.
And that's a fitting reminder at this time of the year when the temperature is starting to change, the weather's changing a little bit. We know that Christmas is coming up, and I'd rather find out about it that way or be reminded of it anyway than walking into Costco in September and seeing Christmas displays.
Gosh, it's there, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Okay. I don't know what happened. All right, we're going to take a Christmas break. We'll be right back.
You're the anchor of my hope, the only one who's in control. I will The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
How can Christian parents train their kids to know and follow God's design for sexuality in a culture that increasingly rejects it?
Join us as we uncover the damaging misinformation being fed to your children on sexuality and gender identity, and learn effective strategies for grounding them in biblical truth with confidence and grace.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show weekdays at 4 o'clock right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Tackling the tough issues facing America and our nation's freedom. That's Sekolo on the Dove TV.
DAs around the country finding who they want to prosecute.
A bold half hour hosted by ACLJ's Jordan and Logan Sekolo, taking you inside the battle of constitutional and political freedom, discussing issues that matter to you and your family.
No one that should or want to run for president will end up running for president.
Be in the know with Sekolo on the Dove TV.
All right, welcome back. 11 minutes before the top of the hour. Yesterday I had Megan Barth on, and she's really interesting. She's quite the reporter, investigative reporter. She's lives in Nevada. She's been around, and you see her on all kinds of things. And normally when I talk to Megan, you know, she's pretty sporadic. She's all over the place. Yeah. But the whole Charlie Kirk thing, like everybody else, it's really kind of riveted us down, and we're asking a lot of tough questions. Yeah. But I did ask her, I said, Megan, isn't it interesting that the reaction to the assassination of Charlie Kirk went global in so many places? And here's what she had to say.
Yeah, and I've seen the same videos, and I've also seen the lines at the churches on Sunday, and I've seen the lines at the TPUSA events just down in Arizona, and I've also seen the numbers, and the numbers demonstrate this. There is a revival. There is a revival going on throughout the country, and if not the world. If you look at the Unite the UK rally, which was just had prior to Charlie's death, if you look at the vigils that have taken place across the country to honor Charlie Kirk, when you look at the lines outside of the churches, and TPUSA specifically, I think they had about 8,000 chapters before Charlie was executed and assassinated. They now have over, I think it's 40,000. I think yesterday it was about 38,000. So I think it's around 40,000 new chapters that are going to spring up that are student-led in high schools and in colleges. And that should terrify the left. I think it's safe to say that the youth, specifically, that Charlie inspired, will save this country. They will save it from the grips of the communist, Marxist, nihilist left. I believe, and I truly believe in my heart, that the Democrat Party is done. Mandami in New York might win. But I think when you look across the greater landscape of this country, there is definitely a revival. And it's not only amongst the youth. When you watch videos on TikTok or social media, you have plenty of parents who have children that were influenced by Charlie Kirk, who hadn't been to church with their family either ever or in over a decade. And they all went to church this Sunday. You know, Ronald Reagan said that if we are ever a nation that is not a nation under God, we'll be a nation gone under. And I think Charlie reminded all of us that there is a greater power than us. There is a greater power than ourselves. And when you look at the Democratic Party and their followers, they're very selfish. They are, they don't have a belief system in a higher power. And I think that the battle, and I've said this to you before on this show, probably over 10 years, that I've always seen this battle as the battle between good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie Kirk has demonstrated that there is evil in this country. There is an underbelly, and that underbelly and that evil is specifically on the left.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've had her on for years, and my interview with her yesterday, I would encourage our viewers and listeners to go to theDove.us and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've never had her quite this solemn, if I could put it that way.
I've never seen her like this.
Yeah,
you're right.
And her words were carefully chosen, but I think she nails it.
Yeah.
She nails it really, really well. So, right.
Well, they say dogs are a man's best friend.
You bet.
Here is a case in point. Check it out.
Some traditions are sweet and just need to be shared, like this one between a dad in Norway and his 14-year-old dog, Ruby. A series of photos recently went viral after the man's daughter posted about their daily breakfast ritual. She wrote, "Every morning, Ruby, 14, sits at the breakfast table with my dad, 75, who makes sandwiches for her. And not just any sandwiches. These are liver pate, Ruby's favorite." The daughter explained that the two have followed the exact same routine for years, same time, same spots at the table, and always the same sandwiches. If Ruby wants another, she simply taps her dad's arm with her paw, politely asking for more. The photos capture more than just a meal. They show a bond that has only grown stronger over time. It's proof that the little things, like breakfast with your best friend, are what makes life truly special.
I get it.
Yeah, maybe a Monte Cristo. I don't know. But pate, that's tough to beat for a dog, huh?
Wow.
How about that?
That's an expensive dog.
Yes, yes.
You know, the hard part about that is,
What?
you know, when you lose those little critters.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just, it's really tough.
You know, it's interesting, too, though, because, you know, looking at what dogs eat, we're seeing things change. You know, we saw this meals that they ship to your home for humans, you know.
Yeah,
now they're doing it for dogs, and they're doing it with real food. It's not like kibble or stuff that you might look at and say, hey, wait a minute, I put this in a microwave and I think I could eat it.
Did your dogs ever, you feed them this food?
Yeah, they're dog food.
They're dog food,
right?
Yeah. Twice a day you feed your dog.
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
Have you ever had them just all of a sudden turn their nose up at it?
No, hunger is a great incentive. I have never had a dog that picky.
Really?
Now, a cat, yeah, you know, cats, that's a different deal. But you know what? There's even a point at which a cat will eat just about anything.
Well, yeah. Well, we've had our dogs, you know, all of a sudden just won't eat it.
I never had that happen.
So you have to do a little mixture. You got to get creative. To get
You know what? It's just like growing up in my family. We were a farm family, 5 kids around the table.
Yeah.
Eating was a competitive sport.
Oh, I know. While somebody was praying, the other one had their fork in the chicken.
Yeah, man.
All right, take with you Psalm 23, the 23rd Psalm, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy, and you anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. So you may be having a bad day. Sit down and have lunch with the Lord today, right in the middle of it, and enjoy His presence.
Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes you come alive. Living water that brings the dead to life.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
Black Flag Armory offers top brand affordable rifles, shotguns, handguns, and gear. We also offer an array of classes emphasizing safety, self-defense, and accuracy. We strive to provide the absolute best possible experience when buying a firearm. Family friendly for every skill level. Black Flag Armory in Midford and Grants Pass. Online at blackflagarms.com or 541-499-0779. 541-499-0779.
Grange Co-op, where big ideas grow.
Chris Silva understands your home and your commercial buildings are two of the largest investments most people make in a lifetime. One is for your family, the other is to support your family financially. That is why Chris Silva Painting goes the extra mile to protect both homes and commercial buildings with proper painting preparation and high-quality primers and paints. Serving Southern Oregon since 2006, this family-owned and operated business has painted over 1,000 homes. Chris Silva Painting offers an industry-leading 5-year warranty that covers materials and labor on all painting projects. Work for both residential and commercial buildings, both interior and exterior painting. Chris and his crew are courteous, they are efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960.
I realized through the 700 Club that the money that I was giving them, God's money, they were doing God's work with.
They're on the front lines of ministry, meeting the needs of people.
I called their prayer hotline and they asked me, do you want to become a partner? And I was like, yeah, why hasn't anyone asked me this before?
CBN is doing such a great job. Try giving and you'll see that God is faithful.
Watch the 700 Club Wednesday morning at 11 on the Dove TV. You're watching the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for San Francisco and the Bay Area. Seen on KURK3 and these Dove TV affiliates.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. You know, if you listen to this program often, you'll know that we talk a lot about business and the markets and these kinds of things, obviously very concerning. I'm very delighted to have with us today Bruce de Torres. He is the Director of Communications for American Small Business League and Don't Cheat Women Project. Yeah, he's an entrepreneur, podcaster, former marketing director for a publishing company, has a website, asbl.com, and there's the picture of the landing page, asbl.com, which is the American Small Business League. So, Bruce, good to see you today. How are you, friend?
I'm well, Perry, and yourself.
Great. Thank you for your time. This is good stuff. All right. Diving right into it, the latest report on the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that we added about 911,000 jobs, fewer than what was originally reported. What does this mean, and why is it important?
It means a lot. It means that the federal government is not supporting small businesses the way that it should. It's important because, Perry, we are a small business nation. A lot of people don't comprehend that basic fact. 99.9% of all businesses in America are small businesses. And in a more perfect world, the federal government would invest 99.9% of its efforts to support small businesses. And unfortunately, the opposite is true. It's really corporate captured, and everything we do and everything we could talk about today, Perry, about job creation, everything comes back to small businesses.
I get it. I'm a champion of it. I try to do my best to underscore this interest. My concern is the concern you have. Why don't we understand that small business is still the #1 employer in the United States?
What a great question. You know, Perry, if more congressmen and senators and candidates and everyone of influence understood that we are a small business nation, it would turn things around. The reason we don't is because of the corporate capture of our media, the corporate capture of our politicians, the corporate capture of the institutions of power at the federal and state level. That's why it's largely unknown how important small businesses are. You know, and our major thing is that our major thing. There are many points that we make, but particularly it's the fact that small businesses are responsible, depending on your source, for 2/3 of all net new job creation. Sometimes it has even been acknowledged up to 95% of all net new jobs are created by small businesses. And the emphasis on the markets, the emphasis on Wall Street, the emphasis on the big billion dollar deals with billion dollar companies is all to hoodwink us and distract us to be thinking about the giant corporations and not understand what the federal government ought to be doing for small businesses. And that's what, you know, I'm in the business of communicating.
Yeah, no, I get it. Can we include in small businesses small farmers?
Well, absolutely. And I know I was on your show a few months ago, and I think that's your background, right? Is that
a little bit?
Remind me.
A little bit.
Okay.
Remind me. Farming and broadcast, that's another story. But no, but I'm really concerned about all this, Bruce, because what's so interesting to me is that we're squeezing this group down. You add to that regulations, but what's been so interesting to me is this. When the job numbers come out on I think the first Friday of the month or second Friday, by the end of the month it's been adjusted. How can we trust these numbers?
Well, it's a fair question to folks who aren't aware that that's a regular thing. That's a routine thing, I believe, going back as far as it's been measured. Because improved stats and statistics get analyzed in Crunch and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, my impression is regularly. It's no new thing, but it seems to be to President Trump, and he's crying foul because of the adjustments. They get adjusted because more information rolls in over the subsequent weeks. I think they're revised. Maybe in real time, maybe every month they look back and revise things. I dug into that when it got notorious a month or two ago, and it's still in the news about, oh boy, because Trump's accusing foul. They're being mean to Republicans and me personally, but apparently they regularly revise the numbers. It doesn't seem to be the political attack that it's accused of being.
As we see the consolidation, Bruce, of large businesses becoming bigger and bigger. You wonder if the monopoly rules come into play here, or is this just outside those regulations?
I would have to study that to give a very specific question to a really great question of yours, Perry. Suffice to say, the administration is facilitating the momentum of decades, which is to labor on behalf of the country's biggest businesses, sometimes the world's biggest businesses, and to excite people to learn about this. Thank you for mentioning my site before, ASBL.com. The particular mission we've been on for decades, and then we have a new project, Don't Cheat Women. If I could take a minute or so, I just want to lay the foundation about these things.
Yeah.
The federal government is supposed to steer 23% of all federal contract dollars to small businesses. And the SBA, Small Business Administration, is responsible for that. And every year they declare victory. They say, we met that goal, we exceeded the goal, how about a loan? Unfortunately, for decades, we have found in our 100+ legal victories that billions of dollars in small business contracts go to the country's biggest businesses. It's really a bit of a scam. And dozens of congressional investigations have found the same thing. And many reports from the SBA's own Office of Inspector General has found the same thing. There's when you see how they categorize businesses and how they exclude federal agencies from the overall contracting total, there's a great case to be made that as much as 97% of the federal procurement budget, $800 billion projected in 2025, goes to the 0.1% of companies that are big businesses. And the 99.9% of all businesses that are small businesses, Perry, get as little as 3 or 4% of the contract dollars that they're supposed to. Now, here's where it goes right to the job creation issue. The big companies that get those contracts, they don't create one new job to perform that work. They're already big. But small businesses would create millions of jobs every year if they got the contract dollars they are supposed to. In 2010, the chairperson of the Senate Small Business Committee said, for every 1% increase of federal contracts to small businesses, 100,000 jobs get created. If the 23% of those contract dollars actually went to small businesses, that would be 2.3 million new jobs, on top of the more or less 2 million jobs America creates every year. An economic boom, Perry, with no new taxes, no new spending, bipartisan, poured into Main Street, raising the economy as a whole everywhere.
Wow. Do you think large corporate America may be painting themselves into a little bit of a corner with AI?
Yeah, the human race, we might be painting ourselves into a corner with AI. It certainly seems to be aiding and abetting all the forces that are eliminating jobs, that are consolidating businesses, that are causing us to work from home, and the shrinking and the pressures that are shrinking small businesses. And that's my succinct answer to that. That's our impression. Yeah.
I'm also seeing, Bruce, a shift in the types of small businesses, and a little bit of a case in point. Retail is quickly being replaced with online and big box stores. So small retailers are going out of business. But trades, small businesses that offer trade services, electricians, plumbing, etc., HVAC, those seem to be growing. Is that a safe assessment?
I'll take your word for it. That's my impression as a layperson. I haven't crunched it in my position here at the American Small Business League.
Well, the only reason I bring that up because I watched the shift. I watched small little strip malls that kind of changed their complexion from small retailers to more service-oriented businesses. So there's a shift going on. But to your point, I also am worried about how can I say this? The challenge, the stepping out and taking the risk as an entrepreneur to start a business is diminishing. I mean, America is really built upon people taking that risk and having that dream of owning their own business, but it's getting harder and harder.
I have that impression, yet I also see reports that new businesses have been created, but here's a huge factor in the mix to discuss in many, many ways. It's the fact that something like 2/3 of all businesses are solopreneurs. They are non-employer firms, meaning it's one person conducting business. And I absolutely agree and see that retail is shrinking, so much being driven online, and the social cost to that, and I say the psychological cost to that, is immense because it alienates us from the people in our communities. And that's been tracked for decades, the harmful effect of our alienation from each other, as measured by folks in apartment buildings for years who have literally never met their neighbor on either side of themselves. And it tracks, or it's consistent with the measures of the despair, the depression, drug addiction, the video addiction, the porn addictions, and the suicidal ideation and attempts and actual, suicide. So everything that could, empower us to be able to live and work and trade, socialize and conduct commerce and actually buy and sell and barter or whatever is good for the human race.
ASBL.com is Bruce's website. One more quick question before I got to go here. What is Don't Cheat Women? What is that project?
It is a very exciting tip of the spear that introduces all these concepts to anybody. We have a great site, don'tcheatwomen.com, no apostrophe. And it's our mission to raise from 5% to 15% the federal contract dollars that ought to go to women-owned small businesses, and how that would help all small businesses and the economy in general, and a whole aspect of women's political empowerment, which follows their economic empowerment to approach political and economic fairness and equality.
All right, don'tcheatwomen.com. Check that out. Check out Bruce's main website, American Small Business League, which is ASBL.com. Good to see you, friend. Stay in the fight. We need you there.
Thank you so much.
All right, good to see you.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Fall in love with Northridge Senior Living's classic contemporary beauty. Spacious apartments featuring private balconies, elegant gourmet-style dining under breathtaking chandeliers. We have on-site 24/7 in-home care and senior adult daycare, where your loved ones can spend the days with us and the evenings with you. Family owned and operated, we are Northridge Senior Living, a great place to call home.
Hey, it's your old car here. Remember me? Remember us? You barely even turn me on anymore. It's clear you don't need me, but that's perfectly fine, my friend. Because you can choose to give this old car new purpose and donate. There are incredible nonprofits out there that accept cars just like me. So call or donate online. Donating a vehicle is easy, the pickup is free, and your gift is tax deductible.
Woohoo! Put your gold in an envelope, mail it, hopefully you get a check. Nah. Father and son jewelry, bring your gold in, we weigh it, we check it, we make you the offer.
Or turn you something old into something new. Whether it's an idea, a picture, or a piece you want to duplicate, we can melt it down and make it for you.
If you find your perfect piece in store, trade your something old for something new, and you always get a little extra.
Visit Father and Son Jewelry, 5 generations of family in Medford.
Welcome back, and always honored and a delight, and I have so much regard for our special guest here today. Major Randy Mulch is with us, Salvation Army Jackson County Coordinator, and Major, you're just an amazing guy. I just want to say thank you for being you.
Well, thank you. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be me.
Yeah. You and your wife, I don't know when you guys sleep. Every time I turn around, you're doing something.
Well, we do keep pretty busy, and we're doing what the Lord's called us to do.
All right. A lot to get caught up here in a short amount of time. Here comes the Red Kettle campaign. It's just around the corner. And people need to know that. You have great outlets this year. And any change, or are we just getting ready for it?
We're just getting ready for it.
You got your sweater on.
I wore my Christmas sweater. Yeah. It's got the bells and the kettles on it. We're 99 days away from Christmas.
Okay. Really?
But even before that, November 15th is going to be the start of our Red Kettle campaign. Okay. And we've got a lot of our usual folks helping us out around the Rogue Valley.
I'm sure I'm on your list somewhere.
You know you are. And,
I hope it's on the good list.
Well, you know what? You are on the good list. You know, you did really well last year, and we expect that you're going to do a marvelous job, ringing the bell, and there's always that open invitation.
Okay.
Anybody in the community that wants to volunteer, in October, we're opening our volunteer site for the Red Kettles. It's registertoring.com.
Registertoring.com. Okay, I'll put that down. Okay, I want to come over to another project. Well, you got so many going on. Give us a Hope House update. I know you broke ground, but give us an update.
Well, first of all, I've got to say thank you to everybody in the community that's helping out. It's like a $1.4 million project. We're building 7 new studio apartments so that we can bring people that have been homeless and have had issues to bring them in off the street and give them a new start in life. Yes, we had our groundbreaking, and we're starting in with the project and getting equipment on the ground and the contractor and all that.
Do you have a proposed date next spring?
We're thinking late spring that we should be able to open the place up.
How does someone qualify for that?
Come give us a call. You have to apply in person at 304 Beatty Street, and all we ask is that you have to be clean and sober. Because we have people with addiction backgrounds that have gone through the program. We don't want people to stumble. We welcome people in. You have to be willing to get a job if you don't have one, and start saving up money and paying off your past debts and all that kind of stuff. And we always have new people graduating. That's exciting.
Well, I've been to those, and I have to tell you, it's so marvelous. And I think your approach is amazing. People need to know this isn't a handout. This is a handout.
Yeah.
You are actually taking this person who's making every effort. They've shown themselves accountable, and you're giving them a huge boost forward with this.
Well, I tell people that if they'll come to Hope House, it will absolutely change their life. And if they'll follow the program and follow the Lord, we don't require people to go to church.
No.
But we tell them straight up, you know what, if you do what God wants you to do and you're willing to work at this, it might be the hardest thing that you ever did, but it will change your life.
Yeah, I have to say, your success rate across the board on all your projects is through the roof, and your turnaround, you have one of the highest. It's like $1 in and $10 out. I mean, you are a living example of these loaves and fishes.
Well, I don't know how it works. I'm binge watching the Chosen series right now, and I don't know if I'd go quite as far as us doing the loaves and fishes, but you know what? The Lord brings an increase.
Yeah, He does. All right, so you're going to get on a bike and you're going to ride.
I am.
You're a biker?
I'm a little bit of a bicyclist.
Yeah.
And so I got connected with Ride for a Cause.
All right.
And the Salvation Army is listed as one of their causes.
Oh, really?
So I signed up for a little 63-mile bike ride on October 11th.
Okay.
If you
63 miles.
63 miles.
Uphill?
Part of it's uphill. So yeah, I'm getting excited for that. If somebody wants to sponsor us, go to the Jackson County Salvation Army Facebook page.
Okay.
All the information's there, and you can sponsor my ride that goes directly to help the Salvation Army.
All right, so you're going to ride 63 miles, October
11th.
11th.
You can come see me off downtown Medford that morning.
Okay. All right. Where's the course? Where are you going?
Well, actually, there are multiple courses. And because I like bicycling, I chose the longest one. But the course that I'm going goes from downtown, goes north on Bear Creek, cuts west at the train park, heads out toward Jacksonville, kind of loops around, and then comes back into South Medford.
Okay.
But it's a good ride.
So go to the Jackson County Salvation Army Facebook page, and you can sponsor Major Randy on that October 11th, 63 miles. It's great. This is just great. You got so many things. I do want to kind of warm our hearts for the upcoming holiday season. I know you do a lot around Thanksgiving and Christmas. What are your plans?
We're just warming up. We are doing a Thanksgiving turkey giveaway the week of Thanksgiving. We try to give those away just in time so people can
thaw them out,
take it home and let it thaw in time for Thanksgiving. And so we're getting ready to do that. We're getting ready for our Angel Tree program. There are companies around the Jackson County area that have an angel tree in their business. And maybe they have like a Christmas tree in their lobby and they just need the angel tags. But also the Rogue Valley Mall lets us have a space so that people can come in, get an angel, go shop for clothes or toys or whatever the wish of the child is, and bring it back to us. And then we'll be distributing toys and clothes to, I think it's over 2,000 people. 2,000 kids.
Last year? That's just amazing.
Just
give us an overall update of the Salvation Army, not only for Jackson County, but globally. You guys are just everywhere.
You know, we are. The Salvation Army is in 135 or so countries. Yeah. Been here in Jackson County since 1898.
Wow.
So been here a while.
Yeah.
I haven't been here that long.
No.
But, you know, the Salvation Army is doing well. I think God's raised us up. And
well, people need to know you have all these programs. You got the holiday programs with turkeys and then children's gifts around Christmas time. Hope House is amazing. You already have Hope House. I mean, you're adding to it.
Yeah.
And how many residents you have there now?
I think we have 25 or 30 family units.
Okay. Really?
And a family unit can be one, because we believe one is a whole number.
Right.
Or it can be a parent and a child, or a husband and wife couple, or husband and wife couple with kids.
And again, if they're interested in that program, they should just get a hold of you and go through the interview process.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the goal is to get them on their own.
Absolutely.
So it's not permanent housing.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay. Because that's important to know.
But if you have a crisis, you can come stay with us.
Okay.
For up to 2 years.
Oh, really?
But during those 2 years, we're going to say, "Hey, Perry, you know, you need to be working. You need to be taking care of your issues, meeting with your counselor once a week."
Okay. That's all great. You have a church downtown on Beatty Street.
We do. We do.
I remember when you remodeled the church. It's beautiful now.
It is.
Just gorgeous.
It is.
And you got a nice kitchen and all that below.
Nice kitchen, nice fellowship hall. Bible study tonight, dinner at 5:30, Bible study at 6.
Are you leading that?
I am.
Good for you. What are you teaching on?
We're talking about Malachi.
Malachi?
It encourages me to do my best for the Lord.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then again, the bell ringing, I think, okay, so register to ring.com.
Yep.
Okay, so if you've never, I'd have to tell you folks, if you've never done this, think about doing it. And you know what you can do is, if you're another company or an organization, your leader can sign up to do this, and then your company can go out and recruit people to come and participate. Well, that's basically what I do.
Adopt a day.
Yeah.
Adopt a day at one location.
Yeah.
And we'll give you the bell, the apron.
It's a hoot. You know, the first time I did, I was a little timid, and then you kind of get a little bit more bold with it. But then all of a sudden you realize what an amazing opportunity, and it's really interesting to see the reaction with people. Now I sweeten it up because I give away candy.
Well, yeah. You did really well last year.
But the point being is, you sit there and you you meet all kinds of people. It's an amazing experience. All this goes to the Salvation Army that funds all of these programs. It's helping people. The God's economy through your organization, Major, is just fabulous. Just fabulous. All right, I'm going to run out of time, so let me say this. He's going to ride a bike coming up October 11th for 63 miles, and you can sponsor a mile. And you can go to where?
You can go to our Facebook page.
Okay.
And there's a link there.
Okay.
You can even print it out and have a flyer in your business with a QR code that people can scan.
Okay.
And sign up and register me.
Good.
Or register to support me.
Anything else happening I'm missing?
I mean, God's good, but you're not missing that.
No. All of this is done in and through the love of God for people. Yeah. They don't shy away from that. That is the core of everything that you do. It has been from its inception to where it is today. I know your heart. I know your wife's heart. You guys are just amazing how God has used you and continues to use you and your organization. I don't know, how many people you got working down there?
We have, the last I looked, 29 or 30 employees.
Yeah.
And throughout the year, with all of our volunteers that do everything, somewhere around 2,000 volunteers.
Yeah, this is just amazing. So, buddy, good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Congratulations for wearing that sweater this morning.
Well, it's almost Christmas. I thought, you know what, I'm going to start it off here.
Okay, well, you did. You got the cheer going here. So check it out. A couple places, jacksoncounty.salvationarmy.org. There is the landing page of the website. You can go to registertoring.com if you want to be a bell ringer. I would say for you business owners, I challenge you to try and beat me.
The challenge is out there.
Okay, I won't tell you when and where, but go do it. And then also go to the Salvation Army Facebook page and sign up to sponsor him so much a mile for 63 miles.
All right.
God bless you, buddy. Good to see you.
And you, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
At Rogue Hearing in Phoenix, we help you hear life again, clearly and comfortably. From expert hearing tests to custom aids and more, the team at Rogue Hearing delivers care you can trust. Rogue Hearing in Phoenix at the shops at Exit 24. Personalized hearing care right here at home.
Where big ideas grow.
We've all enjoyed a real hot summer, and now fire danger is biting at its heels. Flammable blackberries and underbrush will grow like gangbusters and sprout fire danger in no time. A wise property owner knows the best time to take care of fire danger is to extinguish it before it gets started. GMV Forestry, LLC can help you protect your property with adequate fire brush clearing to fireproof a zone around your precious property. With over 35 years experience, GMV Forestry LLC has the knowledge, experience, and all the equipment you need to get the job done right, offering a wide variety of services like mulching, field mowing, snow removal, driveway clearing, ditch cleaning, gravel delivery and spreading, driveway sweeping, logging, and more. GMV Forestry LLC does it all, and they do it right. GMV Forestry LLC, the team you can trust. 541-660-6445. 541-660-6445.
Hi, I'm Sherry Breslin with Rogue Valley Security. Whether it's alarms, cameras, keyless entry, or even Starlink, we tailor solutions for your home or business. We believe in professionalism, excellence, and integrity. Every job, every time. Visit RogueValleySecurity.com.
Welcome back, and always an honor and a joy and just a whole lot of fun to have with us our next guest. I so appreciate him and his work. Carl Clausen's with us. He is the morning host of Carl and Crew Mornings on the Moody Radio Network. He's the lead pastor of 180 Chicago. He's the author of several books, including his latest, Killing Sin, Conquering the One Thing that is defeating you. And there's a picture of it on the screen. Carl has a couple of websites, Carl Clausen, CLAUSON.com, and killsin.com, which is the website for the book, and there is a picture of both those landing pages. If there's one guy that I'd like to tag team preach with, it would be this guy, and I could be the straight guy, and he could be the guy out front making all the noise.
No, I'm going to be the straight guy, Perry. Perry, I love you, man. It's good to see you again, young man.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Terrific.
Good. Hey, I'm just curious. How's Chicago doing these days? You guys are very much in the news. What's your take on that?
Okay, here's the amazing thing about crime and Chicago. There are portions of Chicago that are incredibly dangerous. And I will tell you this, even the downtown has gotten more dangerous, even in the heart of the city where it's been very safe historically to walk around. I mean, my ancestors came here from Sweden and they landed in Chicago, and it's a much different city now. With a few bold steps to have a police presence and a fully staffed police force, we could see some of this stuff turned around. My heart breaks for the south and west side of Chicago. I do hope that they increase their presence. I hope the mayor and the governor invite in from the president a police presence here, because just having that presence on the streets, I mean, we're seeing it in D.C. And I don't want to get political here, but it's not. We're seeing a massive reduction in carjackings, crime, murder, you name it. So, but here's the scary thing, Perry. Per capita death per 100,000 and even violent crime per 100,000. Crime is not unique to just Chicago. I come from Anchorage, Alaska, and the death rate per 100,000, crime rate per 100,000 is almost parallel in the little city of Anchorage, Alaska, Perry. So I think we've got a national crime problem. It's easy to pick off the big boys like New York and LA and Chicago, and we have it here. But it's pretty localized in a few areas. But we've got an angry culture, Perry, right now.
I get it. It's just amazing. But the numbers that we see, 54 shootings last weekend, 8 dead. I mean, come on, one's too many,
Yeah, and here's what I would say. We have grown way too accustomed. Isn't this funny, Perry? We have a tolerable number in our mind's eye somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. Is it 7 deaths a weekend? Then when we get to 15, then we'll get serious. Hey, I've met with a lot of those mamas on the south side. We had a ministry down there for a number of years to middle school boys, mentoring them. Those tears are real. We often disassociate these deaths, but these have families. These have moms, grandmas, dads.
Yeah.
This has ripple effect, Perry.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the update. I want to come back to your book. Let me just ask you a simple question. Why did you take on the 3-letter word?
Yeah, because we've soft-sold it for too long. Killing Sin is a hopeful book. When we think about sin, we've got to demystify it, and we almost demonize it to the point where we don't want to get it off our lips. Perry, it means to miss the mark. In the original language, hamartia is where we get the word sin. It means to miss the mark. It was an archery or a spear-throwing term. If the bullseye is perfect righteousness, anywhere our arrow or spear hits outside of perfect righteousness is missing the mark. Now, we stand in the righteousness of Christ, but we're called to put sin to death. This is the passage. Got a Bible. It's good to have a Bible open, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Romans 8:13. For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, that's all sin, you will live. What a promise, Perry. So in order to get victory over sin, you got to call it what it is.
Has sin systematically been taken out of our presentation of the gospel because it offends people?
Yeah, it has. And the danger with that is that most people that need Christ, I do a lot of evangelizing even on air, but I have had the privilege in the last 6 weeks of leading 1,500 or more people to Jesus Christ. Here's what I find, Perry. If we're not clear with what they know to be true, the average person out there, if you were to ask them, and I do this all the time, I ask them this: what's the one thing in your life that's holding you back from everything that you believe God might have for you? They can pin it down. It's often substance is used a lot, but don't narrow it just to that. It's not just weed and cocaine and alcohol. Those are big boys. But then you got a history of lashing out at people, anger. You've got a chronic gossip problem can happen in churches all the time. Some people struggle with time redemption, Perry. They find themselves being a sluggard. They're working hard at work, but when they get home, I'm talking about men now predominantly, they find themselves just becoming a limp noodle with regard to getting a honey-do list done. All of those things are things that God wants us to get victory over. And when I put this out to a lot of people, I said, what's the one thing that's holding you back from everything that God has for you? I find people have it on the ready. They're ready to talk about it. And what that is sin. It's missing the mark. And I don't believe you can ask someone to repent from the wind. It's repenting from sin and a lifestyle of sin. And we're not called to repent once, but over and over again. So, yeah, we got to call it what it is, Perry, and it's liberating, my man.
In the book of James, chapter 5, I believe it is, that deals with this, it says that, if you're sick, call for the elders, anoint with oil, prayer of the prayer of faith. But the next line is the killer. It says, confess your sins one to another. Why? So that you may be healed.
Yeah.
Have we abandoned one-on-one confession?
Yeah, we have, to our fault. That's interesting that you mentioned that, because I believe confession is the way that we break Satan's back with regard to a sin that's got a hold on our life. Now, you can confess to God, and that's good. But there's something about confessing to someone else what you're battling with. And what we find in James 5 is not a supplanting of the mediator between God and man, Jesus Christ. It's God's plan for making us whole. And it's interesting, you highlighted something beautiful there in James 5. And you will be made well. Is it possible that a lot of the physical maladies we have a direct or indirect correlation and connection to the sin in our life? And the answer is yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'll say this quickly and carefully. A friend of mine who was an Orthodox priest, he's gone to heaven now, but he would talk about physical healings.
Yeah.
When people came to him during the nights and the evenings that he offered one-on-one confession, he probably saw more physical healings than some charismatics do.
Yeah.
Because the moment that sin was confessed, it released something, and people were healed.
Absolutely. Perry, there is something about living in right relationship with God. I found in the scriptures, I don't have them all in front of me, but there are 8 times when God says he will not hear our prayers. One of them is when we live with our wives in a way that it's not understanding as men. Some men have come into my office as a pastor and say, man, I feel like my prayers are bouncing off the ceiling. It's because they are. Mm-hmm. Because God says, I won't answer a thing a man's saying that's treating his wife poorly. So one of the things that we need to remember is that God won't be mocked. If we camp out on sin and we push it into the shadows and we think, I can have it off here, it's the 10% factor of my life that we think we can kind of minimize, diminish, explain away. No. That is affecting every area of your life. Make no mistake about it. That's why we've got to go about killing it. Now, I'm not proposing sinless perfection. Mm-hmm. What I am proposing is that these cycles of sin, shame, repent, repeat over and over again can be broken by the power of God.
It's been said, Carl, that all sin, and if you go through it, it's numerous. It's gazillion types, okay? But it falls into 3 categories: the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. All sin falls into one of those 3 categories.
Yes.
That kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
It does. As a matter of fact, significance, satisfaction, and security is another way of framing those words. And you know that's what Jesus was tempted with by Satan? Mm-hmm. When he was in the wilderness temptation, he was tempted by Satan with significance, security, and satisfaction to be found apart from God. Now, when we take the bait of Satan in any one of those 3, we've now missed the mark, and it's going to rip us off, Perry. That's my passion, to get people free from this stuff.
I remember years ago, and I'll make a long story very short, but I interviewed Jim Baker when he first got out of prison. He was sitting on a couch. And I leaned over to him and I said, Jim, what went wrong? And this is before he wrote the book, I Was Wrong.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, Jim, what went wrong? And I'll never forget his answer, Carl. He said, Perry, 95% of my life was in order. Yeah. But the 5% I concealed from God, thought I had a special immunity, brought down a $125 million a year ministry.
What a confession, Perry. You know, you might hear that and you think, oh, what's being brought down in my life? A lot. King David's an example of this. But what I love most about King David, and this is where Baker went after that, when he was confronted face to face with his sin. David's prayer at the end of Psalm 139 is epic. Search me, know me, try me. Yeah. See if there would be any hurtful way in me and lead me in the way everlasting. And this is after he's writing in Psalm 139. This is the big right to life central passage. Man, he's knit me together in my mother's womb. Before a day has happened in my life, they've all been ordained for me. So David was sobered up to realize, whoa, there's some things I don't see in myself. God, please look and see. You know, this holy introspection is my current discipline in my life, to get up early, spend quiet time with God, even before I go on air at 5 a.m. Central Time. And I get alone with the Lord, Perry, because, whoa, prone to wander. Remember that old hymn? We're prone to wander, man.
Boy. All right, let me take a quick break. Check out the book, Killing Sin, Conquering the One Thing That Is Defeating You. There's a picture of the cover of the book by Carl Clausen. Where can they get that, Carl?
Killsin.com. We've got other resources there, too. We're not just selling books. We're really equipping people. So killsin.com. Real simple.
Killsin.com. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
Clean water is essential to your good health. Ultra Pure Purified Water has been delivering purified, healthy drinking water to the Rogue Valley since 1995. Locally owned and family run, Ultra Pure Purified Water uses a multi-stage process ensuring your delivery of water is 99.8% pure, so your family stays hydrated and healthy. Online at ultrapurewaterinc.com or call 541-734-0828. 541-734-0828.
From top home sellers in the Valley with John L. Scott,
to making RV consignment effortless.
American RV, where Team Toner gets your RV sold fast.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Because Christ is in our relationships at home, there should be a new quality to that relationship. It doesn't always happen all at once, but it happens along the way. As we submit ourselves to the Lord, as we should become better husbands and better wives and better parents and more obedient children and better workers and better bosses. Why? Because Christ is in the equation. Christ is everything. The title of this series is Christ Above All. He's more important than anything we've talked about today, to understand that it's all about our relationship with Christ. And here's Paul telling us, you want to honor the Christ that is the center of your life. It's going to affect how you live, how you relate at home, how you relate at work, how you function as parents. Christ is a difference maker.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Okay, welcome back. Always fun and an honor to have with us Carl Clausen. He's a morning host there on Carl and Crew mornings on the Moody. You're on the air for 3 hours, right?
4.
When do you sleep, buddy?
You know, God's been gracious to me. I get that question all the time because I'm a pastor of a church with 2 campuses in Chicago to boot. But, God's given me some energy. He's given me some juice, Perry. So that's all.
I get it. All right. Check out his latest book. It's called Killing Sin, Conquering the One Thing That Is Defeating You. And you can go to killsin.com and order that book. I think you'll find this to be pretty remarkable. We're talking about this morning. So, Carl, I would say that if I understand this correctly, probably the hardest thing in killing sin is to have the humility to confess it.
You nailed it, Perry. Humility, I've shared this before with you way back. I'm going to state it again. Andrew Murray said it this way: humility is the one virtue that gives birth to every other virtue. Now, that's a big statement. It is true, though. Humility is one of the most powerful attributes we can have. It requires a sense of personal introspection, seeing ourselves for who we are and embracing it. Mm-hmm. And it's hard, but it's the only path to travel. I'm convinced that humility before God, if you humble yourself under God's mighty hand, he will lift you up. By the way, he resists the proud, according to James, but gives grace to the humble. So there's no gray zone with God when it comes to pride. Pride gets us into trouble constantly. And pride is no respecter of men or women. If you're loud and outspoken, you can have pride and you can be humble. If you are quiet and reserved, I've learned this over years, you can be very prideful. Humility, though, postures us before God in a way that God's power can be deposited. Yes, it's paramount.
Mm. What do you say to the person that is struggling? They know what it is.
Yeah.
They may have confessed it to God, but they're stuck.
Yeah. You probably don't have the right emotion around that issue of sin in your life. If you are going to cling to what is good, you need to abhor what is evil. We haven't seen this a lot before, preached about as well as with sin. God, according to Proverbs, there are 7 things that God hates. And we often don't see God as a God. We don't look at him with an attribute of hate. But God, his love is best seen against the backdrop of what he hates. And God calls us to hate what is evil, to cling to what is good. And this may sound a little novel, but it's true. If you gather the proper emotion around it, the bottom line reason, Perry, for what you said is that people just don't despise it enough. I mean, they have a certain level of regret. But what does Paul say? There's a regret that leads to death, and then there's repentance that leads to life. Not all tears are the same.
Yeah.
So you got to get to the point, Perry, where you're foot stomping, table pounding, really ticked off at this sin that's gotten a hold of your life.
Well, to that point, I mean, you can read books, and they should read yours. You can listen to sermons. You can go to seminars. Only 2 things will change you in the end: inspiration or desperation.
Yeah. Perry, I love it. I've quoted you on that. Inspiration, desperation. Desperation absolutely has to be there. And if you look at the Sermon on the Mount, what Jesus said, there's 2 different kinds of lives to live. One is a house that's built on the sand, and one that's a house that's built on the rock that's going to survive all kinds of storms. Here's the difference. They both received the truth. He said, everyone who hears these words of mine, though, and doesn't put them into practice, they've got a house built on the sand. Here's the bottom line. If we apply what we learn from God, and that requires humility, we are going to have a life that survives storms. That's hopeful, Perry.
Yeah. There's a scripture in Matthew that almost made me quit Bible school.
Okay.
And I only went for 2 years, but changed my life. But the point being is this one scripture almost made me walk. And that's that when Jesus had sent his disciples out, healed the sick, cleansed the leper, raised the dead. They came back, they did all those things. And then he said, depart from me, you workers of iniquity, I never knew you.
Yeah.
That scripture, I'm going, wait a minute. These are people doing his work. And they just got chewed out pretty good. Until I looked up the word iniquity. And the word iniquity in that scripture means concealed sin.
Yeah. And that's the issue here. The answer for concealment is confession. And the interesting thing about confession is that you're not revealing something to God. You're agreeing with him about something that exists. I don't care what the sin is in your life. And it's usually a reoccurring pattern. And oftentimes in the church today, it can be as simple as wine. They started sipping wine, now wine's sipping them. But here's the issue. Concealment is if you can muster the humility and the courage to bring it out of the shadows into the light, confess it to God and one another. Don't forsake gathering together so that we can encourage one another. How do we encourage? You got to find someone you can trust. Find someone you can trust and share that with, because concealment, Perry, that is the kicker. And I'm glad you did a deeper dive, because that is the issue right there. Concealed sin disqualifies us from fruitful, robust ministry and the abundant life that Jesus wants to give us.
Do you think we have a misconception that when we came to Christ initially and we repented and we confessed, that was it? I mean, because if you read the book of Acts, they came back to the upper room and they stayed there until the room shook. I mean, it certainly tells us that there's continuing confession going on here.
Yeah, Paul wrote to the Galatian church, "Who has bewitched you?" he said. What? Now, you don't want to have someone writing to you that way. Yeah. Who's bewitched you? That you began in the spirit. Why are you working out in the flesh? So I think two things have happened, Perry. I think we have thought, oh, this God who saved me, he's been great to me. Now I better go out and I need to prove myself now to God that I'm worthy to be called one of his kids. Wrong. That's functional atheism. That's atheistic sanctification. It does not work. Everything we see in Scripture says the same God who saved you, Titus 2:11 and 12, this great grace that saved us, will train us to renounce ungodliness, worldly passions, and to have a life that's ready at his coming. Wow. So you're right, Perry. It's a big malady in the Western church. Probably the absence of persecution and the presence of material wealth. We have trusted Jesus to save us, and by golly, by gum, that's as much as my dad would ever curse, but he said it all the time. We think it's up to us to sanctify us. And Perry, that's a lie out of the pit of hell. This is God's work still.
Yeah. Well, Carl, what do you want the walk away from your book to be?
With hope. I don't care what you're battling with. There is hope in the name of Jesus. And there's a strategy woven through the pages of Scripture that we've just left. And some of you are struggling with something that's reoccurring, and you're wondering. In fact, some people don't even wonder. They're like, I'm going to go to my grave. I'm going to go on to heaven with this thing sitting in the shadows of my life. That is a lie out of the pit of hell. And you need to quit listening to the deceiver and start looking at the Word of God. My hope is that you get free, and it's a hope-filled book.
All right, so go to killsin.com. That's the website to get the book, Killing Sin. There's a picture of that landing page with the book cover on it. You can also connect with Carl, carlclaassen.com, and check out his radio show. I got a flyer on your show the other day quickly. I guess we can take bits and pieces of it, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Is my audience ready for you?
That's a great question. I'm an acquired taste, Perry. I will admit it. I'm an acquired taste. But you got a little bit of wingnut in you too, my man. I just want to tell you.
Oh, you're great. Hey, we'll see you in November or February. You will be there at the NRB?
Oh, yeah. I'll see you there, Perry.
Okay, I'll get you a hamburger. We'll have you on before. Hey, good to see you. Thank you, buddy. God bless you.
Love you, my man. Thank you.
to Mornings on the Dove. A lot going on in the news.
We begin this half hour in the Middle East where Israelis are still...
It was on this day in history that the possibility of...
That is no joke, Barry. That's not a joke.
God loves you, and God can do what you can't do.
Wake up to Friends in the Morning. Perry and Jerry, weekdays on Mornings on the Dove. The Dove TV is encouraging and informative, and your place to see Transformed, a groundbreaking series that takes you behind closed doors to witness biblical counseling with real people facing real issues. Transformed reveals how lives are changed through Scripture. No issue is taken off the table. Join Dr. Greg Gifford and see lives transformed from brokenness to wholeness. Watch Mondays and Thursdays only on the Dove TV. Tackling the tough issues facing America and our nation's freedom. That's Sekolo on the Dove TV.
DAs around the country finding...
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue. At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site 24/7 in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
Grab a cup of coffee
and start your day right.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. And Jerry Bilden's here, and I'm here to see if he's going to stick around.
Yeah, well, I'll stick around, but you got to keep me between the lines.
Yeah,
all right.
I am Jerry Bilden's guardrail.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
There you go. All right, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday, and it does drop a little bit temperature-wise today. Yesterday was warm. Today will be nice.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of goes down a little bit. This time next week, there could be some showers in the forecast. So we'll keep an eye on that. Good morning to you. A lot going on, always in the news. Have you watched the President and the First Lady and the King and Queen?
You know, I saw a couple pictures, but I haven't seen any video. How's it going over there?
Well, I have to tell you, it's they have described, quote, the royal treatment.
Oh, okay, really?
Oh gosh, it is. It's over the top opulence and royalty and chariots and big hats and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually I like all of it. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And but you know, is he the first president to get 2 state welcomes in England?
Well, that's a good question.
This is his second state visit.
You're right.
And the king has really rolled it out for him.
Yeah.
And it's all inside one of the Windsor Castle there, where they have the big courtyard in the middle, and all of the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Now, actually, Donald Trump and Melania Trump are both staying in a luxury apartment in the complex, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. It's the whole thing is amazing. And of course, I don't. Somebody will tell us, but I don't understand. I shouldn't say I don't understand. I don't know where the the big hats for women came from in the UK.
I know.
And they're huge.
I know.
And they have these different things. They wear them at angle. Well, you ought to see First Lady Melania's hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know, it looks like she should. I say this respectfully, but she does belong on the cover of a magazine.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's stunning.
Yes, she is.
So,
yes.
Anyway, we'll have some of that a little bit later on. Good morning.
Hey, let me ask you this though. One thing. Do you think they're staying in a very opulent setting? Do you think there's enough gold gilded around the furniture for the president?
Now. It's interesting you'd say that. I would imagine there's a fair share of it.
Okay.
Just me personally, don't write me an email. It's a little too much for me in the Oval Office.
Okay.
I think it's a little too much in the Oval. I'd like to see him tone it down.
Well, I'm just wondering if there's enough in the castle.
Well, listen, he loves gold.
I know he does.
He saw the Trump Tower.
Oh, yeah, look at his plane.
Look at his plane.
Yeah, Trump won. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Well. All right. Guess what today is?
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, and also it's Constitution Day and Citizenship Day, which is a real issue in our country these days.
I forgot about that. September 17. Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, I was on the Bicentennial Commission representing the state of Oregon for the bicentennial of the Constitution, and I got to go to the White House on this day.
Really?
During Reagan's administration.
No kidding.
Yeah, I
This
forgot
is
all
an
about. I
anniversary.
have all this stuff at home.
Oh, I wish you'd.
I should have brought it. I didn't even think about it. Gosh, it's
Okay.
just wonderful. Yeah.
Well, it is Citizenship Day, and on this day, members of the U.S. Constitutional Convention signed the Constitution in 1787.
Yep.
How about that? All right. National Professional House Cleaners Day. Outstanding. And it's not just house cleaners. It's basically professional cleaners. Where would we be without you? And I have been one.
Really?
Oh, heck yeah. I when I was in college and actually in high school and college, I cleaned my mom's beauty shops, and I also cleaned my doctor's office weekly. I was his janitor. Yeah, I cleaned everything. Oh, man, I know what a pumice stone is for.
Okay, so how'd that work for you?
Kidding me? Yeah, I got my fingers wet.
So are you a needy at home?
A needy? What's a needy?
A needy, cleany, needy. Everything's in its place.
No, okay. I am not. I like things.
Is Pam?
Yeah, but we're both kind of in that mode, but not fanatical about it. I just don't like stuff laying around. I'm that way, in RVing too. I like things clean and in their place. I don't like clutter around the place. It just bugs me. Anyway, enough of my own problems.
I see your office, and you're lying to me.
Well, yeah, my workspace is different than my living space.
There you go.
I am what do they call that? Messily organized. You ask somebody who's got a lot of stuff on their desk, they know where everything is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Messy's know where things are.
Yeah, when I start putting stuff away, I have trouble. Anyway, Monte Cristo Day. Monte Cristo is a sandwich, recognizing the indulgent and delicious sandwich made from ham and cheese. Unlike a grilled ham and cheese, the Monte Cristo is the premier version of a grilled ham and cheese. It's a triple-decker, egg-dipped ham and cheese sandwich that is pan-fried.
Okay, so you can put syrup or jelly on
it. You can sweeten it. Yeah, you put a little bit of jelly on it. There are a number of, different touches that you can do to a Monte Cristo. And I'm sure they are all good. And I'm sure it's not too dissimilar to, again, that good old famous grilled cheese sandwich. Grilled cheese is very,
it's a grilled
very
cheese sandwich with ham.
And dipped in egg, and then the whole thing fried. So it's
a French toast ham chin cheese sandwich.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take two.
Okay.
It's also National Apple Dumpling Day, honoring the sweet delight of autumn. Apple dumplings are an easy dessert to make. Simply peel and core apples, season them with cinnamon and sugar, and wrap them up in a prepared pastry dough. Bake the apple until it's tender, and the flavor is very similar to apple pie. How about that?
Okay.
And speaking of food, we throw a lot of food away.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Not only households, but restaurants, and I think we're stunned sometimes when we realize the amount of food that's being thrown away. So, you think they should make it a law to ban throwing away food? Well, guess what? In France, they already have.
Good.
France is the first country in the world that legislated a food waste law that bans supermarkets